guys, we're going to do this episode, and then later we're going to talk about the contract for the control of gravity, okay?
Yeah.
We got to get the episode done first because it's time for Bad Movies Rule, the worst movie podcast ever created. And today, we got a barn burner for you. It's Slapstick of Another Kind. Let's go.
We need to tape a piece of paper over the rules on our sign for this one. And we should change it to just the worst movie.
Got it.
You should even tape over the word movies.
Just bad.
Just bad.
On this special episode of Bad.
Yeah.
Very special.
Michael Jackson just moonwalks through.
Oh, that'd be the perfect drop. Slapstick. You know it's bad. It's bad. Shamow. Come on, guys.
Dude, that was amazing.
More amazing than this movie
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So, look, I'm going to preface this by saying, I don't know if any of you have ever witnessed a massacre before, but if you need to pull over your car or wait to listen to this until you're in a safe place, I'm just giving you fair warning right now, okay? Ooh. Because I'm not happy.
There is nobody. No. I don't think we could put 4 people in any room in America right now and find more than one person who enjoyed this movie.
No. I think we
4 people.
I think we could find 4 people that would line up in a room and let us kick them in the dick one after another before we could find 4 people that would love this movie.
To be honest,
I think
I would be number 1 in the line of receiving the kick. If that meant I never had to watch this again.
Or if I never had to watch it in the first place. If we could go back in time to not have seen this.
Yeah.
Removed it from existence.
How the hell did this become something we had to watch?
I'll explain it right now.
I'm quite curious.
We do not have fans. That's how.
You think I would do this on purpose? You're crazy. Okay? No, and you're right about the time machine thing.
I have said early on in this episode that people are not understanding and they're giving us these bad movies because they want to punish us.
Yeah.
This time I mean it.
Yeah.
This is real. You guys did this to us because you're vindictive jerks and we will deal with it.
That's right.
Because
with class,
we love you.
With class?
Yes.
No. How
because you know,
there will be no class.
Right.
Class dismissed.
You know what? You're right. Class is dismissed.
There is no class.
This
You
is
guys
detention
suck.
right now.
you guys suck. But
Right. We
thank
love
you. Thank
But
you.
What the F?
Thank you for your patronage.
Yes.
Though.
Well, we didn't have to pay to see it. It was on YouTube.
Thank you.
That even made it worse because then there were commercials.
And it's like every time we get to a commercial, I'm like, yes! Oh, it's going to come back on in
Oh, tell me.
37
Tell
seconds.
me.
I actually watched the extended portion.
Tell me about Dawn or Bounty Control or whatever,
Sure.
or all that
There's
stuff, please.
pockets for
things. I need to know. No. There's not more. Oh, it's over.
Literally, it's like, hey, you can skip this ad in 15 seconds. The fuck I will. I'm watching the whole goddamn ad. You can't make me skip this.
That's right.
Literally the ad for Prevnar 20.
Yeah.
If you guys know what Prevnar 20 is.
Give me the uncut
I got
version.
Prevnar
It's,
23 now.
Yeah. It's,
I'm just like, give me all
it's
of them.
Pfizer's pneumococcal pneumonia vaccine.
Yeah.
Sure.
The freaking commercial for that was better than this movie.
Dude, that thing was fire.
Dude, I would watch the 10-minute uncut version.
Give me,
of the
tell me more
director's cut.
about pneumococcal pneumonia.
pneumococcal pneumonia.
Also say that
yes.
7 times in a row real fast.
It would be more intelligible than Jerry Lewis going.
You guys in your cars are saying that right now 7 times fast, aren't you? Pull over first, then try it. Thanks.
Yes, I told you. Wait till you're in a safe place.
You made them all say cockle.
Now looking. Okay, here. It's a heart valve, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I am
I'm not sure.
certified to diagnose you all
Insane.
with temporary insanity, because the reason we have this movie is it was voted by our patrons for us to have to watch it. And they haven't done us dirty like this since Rubber.
Rubber was
the last one.
masterpiece compared to this.
Right. But remember how pissed off I think I spent the last 10 minutes of that episode just yelling at people. Okay?
It was a great time.
Right. But
Do we have the
Come
voting
on.
rolls?
do we have the what?
The voting rolls. Can we see who voted specifically?
No, it won't let us know.
Does it give us addresses?
We have all of their addresses.
Bob the hell out of this list.
Jan Silent Bob involved. But here's the problem. You're going to have innocent parties involved because while we have all of our patrons' addresses, we don't know which ones voted for Slapstick of Another Kind.
But we could go a page out of my dad's book and just nutshot them all who are applicable, of course, just to make sure we got the right one.
Punish the entire unit so that the ones that did wrong.
Like making them do push-ups, everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right. Give him the old Gomer Pyle.
I love that you said time machine because you're right. The few times in my life I want to see, somebody invent a time machine, not to right some great historical national wrong, like some war or something,
bullshit.
but no, for this movie.
This is a historical national wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
Needs to be righted.
Yeah.
All right. We gotta get into
Dive in.
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. Okay. I don't know how this is going to be structure-wise. We're going to try and follow the normal structure. We're going to give you the vitals right now. Who wrote it? Who is responsible for this? Okay.
We're going to go over the fine point.
Yeah, that's right. And then we're going to go through scene by scene, and then we'll give awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Plant your flag,
I
right?
have the Will Patton Award down.
Okay, perfect.
Ready for it.
I usually don't give you a hard time, but if you can't come up with a trash can for this movie, Nicole, I don't know if you'll ever be able to. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's see the vitals. All right. The movie was written and directed by the same clown, Stephen Paul. Okay. And you look at the guy's filmography and you go,
Sean Paul? Wait.
Stephen
Paul.
A little different.
You look at the guy's filmography, you go, okay, maybe this was a blip. Maybe he was 23, 24 years old when he directed this. So
sure,
maybe he straightened it out after that. No. This guy also is responsible for Baby Geniuses, maybe the most well-known, maybe the worst movie ever made. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I love Baby Geniuses compared to this movie.
Okay.
But do you love it overall?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, that's an awful movie.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
But that's like a fun, bad, awful movie.
Baby Geniuses 2, the sequel,
Electric
has
Boogaloo.
I'm not making this up,
No.
a 1.5 on IMDb.
Yeah.
And it's still got to be better than this.
1.5.
On a scale of
10.
Yep.
Out of 10.
Yep.
Out of 10.
Our lowest as of yet has been a 2.6.
Which
you guys
was,
remember what movie that was?
I'm going to bet it was Laser Blast.
No. Laser Blast was 2.7.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, Rubber was a 3.
Also, Garbage Pail Kids was a 2.7.
Oh, yeah.
The movie that beat them all, our lowest as to of yet, was a 2.6, and it was Santa with Muscles.
Oh.
Okay.
Come on, that movie was beautiful. Oh man.
Well,
wow.
You're in for a treat.
What's this one?
It is now our lowest ever IMDb rated movie.
Surprising.
At a 2.5
Wow.
by 1 point.
Yes.
So there's movies worse than this rated?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because the sequel to this clown's other movie is a 1.5.
Yeah. How
Who would have thought that he was also the executive producer on Expendables 4?
Oh, geez. He's actually done more producing now
Yes.
than he does
Yes.
directing.
Well,
or
he's
writing.
better at that.
He's got 30 acting credits.
I was going to say, he's one of those guys that just kind of does B movies. If you look at his filmography, he has over 100 producing credits. And out of the 100, I'm sure 96 of them are crap.
But here's the thing. When you go, don't ask. I'm not fielding these questions, so don't ask. I went on YouTube after watching this movie, and there's a 20-minute making of Slapstick on YouTube.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Okay.
No,
Yes.
it's not. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
I got about 9 minutes into it, like not quite halfway. And to listen to the director, to listen to Mr. Steve Paul.
Did he have like yes, you're right, a cigarette on a holder while he talked?
If only.
Right.
If only. To listen to him speak, he thought he was making something very important with this movie.
Well,
I can't fathom the room where we're telling people how we want them to act and that these people are actually doing what he's saying.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way.
Well, this book is based on
here's the
Kurt
flip
Vonnegut.
side
a Kurt
of the
Vonnegut
coin.
book.
Yeah.
Right. You're taking source material from Kurt Vonnegut, right?
Yeah.
Who is regarded as one of the best satirical authors of the 20th century.
Yeah.
He's not the best nothing if he has any part to do with this.
I'm sure the book version of this
Yes.
had a lot to say politically and had a lot
Yes.
to say satirically about life in this world and all of that. I'm sure he threaded that needle because he's a talented author.
And you want to know
They
what's
threw
funny
all
too?
of that in the garbage when they wrote this script.
Yeah, there was an interpretation done.
Oh yeah. Not only did they throw it all in the garbage, but also Kurt Vonnegut even said that Slapstick is his worst novel.
Oh, well, there you go.
So why then?
It was the only one Stephen Paul could get the money
rights.
together to get the rights.
Cheap
to.
rights, yeah.
Dude, cheap rights.
Do we have an idea on the budget?
Yeah, so the budget was $4 million.
Yeah.
$4,019,82.
Yeah, so like that's
Yeah.
like 73 trillion
Bajillion dollars.
$4 million.
That's a
This
decent.
thing actually
decent,
made back.
And the box office, the data on the box office, erased from existence.
2 payday bars.
It is unfindable unless
is.
you found it.
No, it is it's unfindable. On top of the fact
Yeah.
that I generally like to buy hard copies of the movies that we watch, this movie has never been released on
Yeah.
hard copy.
They want it to die.
They haven't done a good
Yes.
enough job.
Yeah,
Well, because it's now out there digitally, right? But like
exactly.
you can't find anything out there about this movie.
No.
Okay, I did find a Jerry Lewis appearance on Johnny Carson promoting this movie that he went on, and they spent the entire time talking about anything else. And then they showed a clip, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's a Kurt Vonnegut book, and yeah, you should go see it." Anyway, John, let's talk about something else.
Oh, so even
Jerry didn't seem like
pivoted
it.
So
off.
like, do we know? Like, I still think that Jerry Lewis has got to be responsible for this because there's no
Yeah.
way this gets red lit unless greenlit, sorry, unless somebody says like, we got this
Yeah.
name who's going to do it, right?
100%, he was the driving
There's
force.
no way that this happens without him. So does anybody know any necromancy spells? Because
Why do you want to bring him back to life?
I think we need to bring Jerry Lewis back to life.
Yeah.
Just so we can spend the next hour and a half kicking him in the balls. Or no, wait. We resurrect him wherever he is right now. If it's in a box or in an urn, we just leave him there until he dies again of natural causes.
And you
wherever
think
he
about
is.
what you did till you die again.
Yeah, that's
Dark.
Yep.
This is unbelievably bad.
Wow, you guys really hated it.
Yikes.
I mean, that was one of
One of
my. It was
this
okay.
Wasn't my favorite, but
How many episodes have we done now?
180 something.
This is my 180 something favorite episode.
Jeez.
Garbage
make it
Pail
fun.
Kids.
That's what we're gonna do.
that's right. We're going to make it fun.
Pail
Gonna do the
Kids
impossible.
movie is now my second worst favorite.
Wow, it replaced
That's
Garbage
amazing.
Pail Kids.
Yeah.
Even Ice Pirates.
Ice Pirates is going to stay at 3 because I have a little more respect for the fact that we actually had a villain
Yes.
in Masters of the Universe.
Masters
That
of the
one's going
Universe.
to move.
That moves up. Okay.
That moves up a spot.
It's Clint's bottom 5. There you go.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get to it.
We'll get to it for
We'll get
sure.
to it. You know
go
what
ahead,
though?
Tom. Yeah.
There was no box office.
Yeah.
Because it was never released.
Well, it was released in Europe, right?
It was released in Europe,
Yeah.
and then it was released in one theater in Los Angeles, and then it went straight to cable TV.
Oh, so then $12,
Yeah, probably.
right?
Yeah.
3 people bought tickets.
3 people bought tickets in 1984.
Right. So
2
$12.
buttons and a paperclip.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
The movie starred Jerry Lewis, Madeline Kahn,
Marty Feldman.
I know.
Marty Feldman.
I know.
On paper, this cast.
I know.
And Pat
It's
Morita.
trash.
no, the cast is-
Miyagi. No, I'm sorry. They should be
their
great.
body of work. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Their
yeah,
body
okay.
of work. The
Okay,
cast.
yeah.
Yes.
On paper, you say you got Jerry Lewis, Madeline Kahn, Marty Feldman, and Pat Moriarty.
Yeah.
Doing a Kurt Vonnegut novel.
Who's Pat Moriarty? That's the bad guy.
Marita.
Pat Morita. Oh yeah. Yep.
Sherlock
you got me.
Holmes.
Sherlock
I want to
Holmes.
see his guy.
That's
Yes.
a new win.
He could have
I'd
spun
watch
this into
that.
something entertaining, I think. Could you imagine a character as like intelligent as Moriarty stuck in this movie?
That would have been amazing.
Watson. It's our nemesis. Pat Moriarty. You wax on, wax off. Be awesome. It'd be incredible. Actually, Pat Morita.
Pat Morita.
Sounds like I do. A lot of people that only have seen him in Karate Kid think that that's how.
Right.
But no, it was actually just an incredible acting performance. But
Yeah, because he's from California.
he's from California.
Yeah.
He sounds like
Yeah.
me. Yeah, for sure. The movie, as I said, was a 2.5 on IMDb. Critic score
1.
wiped from existence.
Oh.
Not one critics. Now, I know critics reviewed it because you can also go on YouTube and there's Siskel and Ebert at the movies talk about it on the thing. Did you see it?
I finally agree with Siskel and Ebert on anything.
They
Yes.
hated it.
They hated this thing. Like,
They called it the worst movie of 1984.
they're right.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah.
Great.
The worst movie of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so there was, but on Rotten Tomatoes, nothing. Like they didn't. There's just no critics reviews on there at all.
No one wants their name associated.
No one wants their name on it. There is an audience score. 17% of people gave it a positive
Yeah.
review.
But they maybe
That's
like a
amazing.
Madeline Kahn fan.
Yeah,
Or
or something, or
100 family members watched this, and only 17% could say, like, yeah, no,
Right.
whatever.
and the literacy rate, I think, in America is I don't know. Anyway, we're just going to move on. Let's listen, guys. Thank you for joining us. I can't. If you're listening to us talk about Slapstick of Another Kind, you really are a Bad Movies Rule diehard, and I appreciate it. Or you're one of these people that later on I've got a bone to pick with that did this just to hear what. And you're listening right now with like a fly with your hands, like
They love it.
or you're new to the podcast,
Or-
and we welcome you.
And if you're new, listen to another episode first, and then come back and listen.
No,
to Slapstick
we
of Another
haven't,
Kind.
we haven't spoken enough yet. It could be the
All right, you're
best
true.
one
You're
we've
true.
ever
This could be
had.
a perfect representation of our
Absolutely.
library.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of our
A banger.
Over. I don't know how you say that. Yeah. Anyway.
Our au revoir.
Or whatever. No, our essence.
Sure, I like that.
Our oeuvre.
Our joie de vivre.
Our joie de vivre.
Yes.
Our
Schwad.
Bon appetit.
Schwad.
What are we doing here?
I don't even really work
Anyway,
here.
Merci. Moving on.
thank you. If you want to be more connected, you can reach out to us in one of three ways. You can call us on the phone, 262-757-8567. Leave us a voicemail or answer you on our mailbags. Or you can just email us. This show is trash at gmail.com. We're going to live up to that today. Or you can sign up for our newsletter, which we give so you get advanced information, right? You go on there and you go, hey, these are all the movies coming out next month. You don't have to wait week to week to find out what the next movie is. Also, all the poll movies, all that stuff. And you get a copy of our list that we pull these movies from randomly. Our DH9K sets us up with. And that's all if you go to badmoviesrule.com. It'll immediately, say, sign up for the newsletter. And then you're in. So try and do that if you haven't. Otherwise, we're just happy you're here. Sit back, relax, and enjoy us talking about Slapstick of Another Kind. All right? You ready to pay the bills?
Yep.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. The movie opens.
It does.
The Chinese government has had enough of the world. They say we're cutting off communication with everybody.
Seems reasonable.
Screw the whole world because we have figured out not a better way to run a nation or how to live in peace with no war or something. They're cutting off communication because they figured out how to miniaturize their entire population.
Right.
And
Yeah.
what do they say? He tells everybody else to stick it up their ass, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the beginning of this movie. They have this
2-inch tall population of
a
China.
billion people. How many people
It's
are in China?
efficient with resources.
For sure. The whole
is.
family can live off one
Lots
grain
of
of rice
land.
for a long time.
Yeah. Really
And-
expounded upon in Downsizing with Matt Damon.
That's true.
Yeah.
And with this momentous announcement that they're going to make to the entire world, do they have a press conference at the U.S. Capitol building?
They could.
They could do that,
Yeah.
right?
Why not?
Or straight from the, I don't know, whatever version of the Oval Office is in China. I don't know. Tiananmen Square, they can do it live from
Square
there.
office.
Right, the
Yep.
Square office, I'm assuming.
Sure.
But no, they go to some dumpy local news network. Like that'd be like if Kim Jong-un was going to, make a big announcement about their disarming themselves or whatever, and they came to CBS 58 in Milwaukee to
We
make...
love CBS 58 in Milwaukee.
No, nothing against CBS 58 in Milwaukee, but what the hell is China doing coming into some local news network and be like, this is how we're going to tell the world.
It's like they came in on a Friday night race night and had me interview them.
That's right. That's exactly it. We're here with the Chinese ambassador. Three. What?
Yeah, look out, Marshall, turn 3.
Yeah.
Right there,
Yeah.
Get Dan. He flipped again.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead. You were saying something about being miniaturized.
We got miniature cars. That's pretty cool.
In the background, you just hear DH9K 4.2 seconds.
That's a fast lap.
That's what I'm saying, dude. All right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how fast the laps are. All right. They're in here. This Chinese crew bring in a pot. I'm not making any. You're going to hear some crazy shit. I'm not making any of it up. Okay. I'm literally just explaining what happened.
It's literally a vessel. The guy walks.
It's like a pot.
This bald Chinese guy walks in.
Fortune cookie.
I'm like, is this going to be some mashed potatoes in here?
He just opens it up and he unveils Pat Morita sitting with two guys banging a gong because they also miniaturized the gong.
Two sumo wrestlers.
Yeah, two sumo wrestlers.
Like I thought you figured out miniaturization. I guess not for these two guys.
Tell me the effects were just fantastic.
Oh my god.
Yes.
The fisheye.
The fisheye. Yeah.
People looking into the pot. That's Merv Griffin.
I know. Mm-hmm. I know.
What the hell is he doing in this movie?
I know.
Anyway, the whole message that they deliver is that we're cutting off everybody. Pat Morita, and he sounds like Alvin the Chipmunk.
Yeah.
Right. Is that the key to Chinese advancement is twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever that means.
Okay.
Okay.
And
sure.
then he says,
All right,
literally,
guys.
he says, stick it up your ass or some variation of that to the world, or really just the tri-state area, wherever the hell this news station. It's not like they have the internet or anything to be able to get this out.
What is he? It's like, moo moo gas, stick it up your ass. Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Straight cut. Now, just momentous, historical.
China gone.
China gone, miniaturized. Let's go over to Gossip Gertie for the news.
It's literally, yes, the gossip person. It like says it on her thing.
Right.
Yes.
The gossip lady.
Gossip lady.
Oh, and in other news, it's obviously just as important as what we just heard. These beautiful people, the Swains, they're the most beautiful and rich people. And Jerry Lewis is so hot. And aren't they? They're going to have the most beautiful twins. And it's just, they said at least 6 times that they're so beautiful.
And I was like, maybe they're trying to make some point to us. Like, oh, I didn't think of Jerry Lewis as the most beautiful man, but what is beauty? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's my fault because he...
Nope.
Right. It wasn't enough for him to be going like, hey, lady. But then it's him. So they weren't making fun of it either. It was just along the line where like, I'm a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Madeline Kahn. Okay. Right.
Love her.
She's beautiful.
Yes.
Sure. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Jerry Lewis looks like he's 20 years older than she is.
Yep.
He quite literally is.
He probably is 20 years old, but like it doesn't look, it's not passable as, okay, fine.
Although rich men often marry young women. So I guess maybe that worked.
We cut to the hospital for just a touching scene where Jerry Lewis, a.k.a. Caleb Swain, is chatting with another man with a totally normal face.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Who's so ugly.
Bro, first of all, he's not even that ugly.
Right.
No.
But second of all,
He has large.
good Lord, that nose was crazy.
Yeah. For days, dude.
I questioned if that was even his real face.
I
has to
couldn't.
be
I was
prosthetic.
literally up to my
had
TV.
to be prosthetic.
Like, I'm trying to find the scene.
Yes.
in this guy's nose.
Maybe his
Yes.
powers of olfaction were fantastic because he could breathe in so well.
He literally could smell what they're cooking in China.
That's it.
From the middle of that hospital.
He is the one whom The Rock is speaking of.
Serious. He looked like Hoggle from Labyrinth. Okay. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You know what?
That's what he looked like.
Pick any creature from any fantasy novel, and this guy could be him.
Oh, where was Peter Jackson? Should have got on the horn right after this movie came out.
And like, that's my Gimli.
We are ready to go. We don't need anything else. Come on, that guy. I hope I didn't look up his IMDb. I hope he had a long, storied career as a character actor because I thought he did great.
Yep.
Characteristically, he had a great face.
And he did well. I thought
He did act well. I think he did pretty well, yeah.
better than Jerry Lewis
That's
did.
what I was going to say. Maybe I'm just comparing and...
Jerry Lewis didn't even do the fallen down idiot properly. Like,
phoning it in, maybe.
Who even knows? We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
no,
Anyway.
he lost a bet.
And after a minute, because they're watching the news, they're watching Gossip Lady, and he's pacing the waiting room because he's not able to be in the room where his wife is giving birth, and he's talking to Hoggle, and he's just like, he realizes on the TV, oh my God, I'm just a regular guy, and you're just a beautiful person sitting next to me.
Can't believe it.
Talking to me like I'm a beautiful, normal person. And that was his reaction to Jerry Lewis,
who at the time was in his late 50s.
Yes.
What's he doing having babies?
Well, he married a young lady.
which is fine.
I'm just saying.
But still, the guy's response to like, oh my gosh, you imagine how ugly my kids are going to be? Your kids are going to be gorgeous and beautiful. Mine are going to be like bridge trolls. And I mean, what did he say? I should be
He said, "I'm so ugly, I should be
circumcised.
circumcised." That's the line. Is
instead of castrated.
yeah. I'm so ugly, I should be circumcised. And then Jerry Lewis like, "I think you mean castrated."
Right.
Yeah. Like, okay, great line.
It's weird.
In the writing room, they were like, gold.
That's so weird.
Yes.
It's just weird.
Yes.
Way to start this movie. And they're so ugly. These babies, when they arrive, they assume that they belong to Hoggle, but they don't. They're Jerry Lewis's doctor.
Yeah, when the doctor breaks the news, he's like, you see the big nose dude. He's like, oh my God, they're not mine. I can't believe it. I'm so happy they're not mine.
Can you believe it? Now I'm the beautiful person.
And then did you see he was with a very conventionally attractive wife?
Yes.
This
As well.
She was.
Yes.
That's literally as the camera went past the room and we saw his wife, Dana, goes, she's not ugly at all. Right?
I think that was supposed to make you laugh. Like,
Got it.
I want to know why it was necessary for Jerry Lewis to fall out of the window of the hospital.
Very thin hospital window.
That's the thing is, guys, this is the
that's what he
opening
does,
scene
right?
to a comedy.
To a slapstick.
Well, he fell into paint.
But still, it's just a very mean-spirited, horrible way
I agree.
to start a comedy.
Yes.
This scene is gross.
Yeah.
Right.
To me. You know what do you understand what I'm saying?
Because of how insensitive it is.
Yeah, well, just in general. And yes, and just not funny or lighthearted or any of that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
It's just, I'm an ugly person. I'm going to have ugly babies, and you're rich and beautiful, and so you're better than me. And then they have the babies, and they're like, instead of being like, oh, well, I love them like my own, they're like, good God. And he backs up so far, he breaks through a window and lands in a thing of paint at the sidewalk. Hysterical.
Yeah. They were sort of like, I think it's a Looney Tunes. I think they thought.
Yeah.
Dr. Frankenstein comes out. I'm not kidding.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was like, Dr. Frank. No,
He's like, man, these some ugly ass babies.
I wanted to break into a Stephen Lynch. Damn, that's an ugly baby.
Wow.
Like legit. Like there's a whole song for it. It's good stuff. Watch that instead of this movie.
Is this the scene? This is too when he starts saying like, look, they're really ugly.
Yeah.
They're probably going to die soon.
Yeah, from ugliness.
So from ugliness.
Right. Yep.
So might be best for you two just to leave.
This is what's happened. Yeah, so he comes back upstairs.
Yes.
Every room looks like it's guarded by a Major League Baseball umpire. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did not.
Okay. I'm like, what? This is the third base coach at every single door. They go in, and now Madeline Kahn is in there in her
Full makeup.
birthing outfit.
Lovely.
That was just
Losing outfit.
looked like she was getting ready for a magazine shoot. Okay. And yes, Dr. Frankenstein, who I'm like, I don't know, red flag, the doctor, his name tag was a Post-it note.
Yeah, it was a piece of tape. Piece of tape with marker on it.
Marker on it.
Frankenstein.
I don't think he's a doctor, Madeline. Because I don't think you can die from being ugly, because I'm still alive. I'm 45 years old.
Congratulations.
So, yeah.
You are one of the beautiful people.
No. Not what the internet tells me on a regular basis.
They're not the beautiful people.
Right.
They're the ugly ones.
Okay.
In
They're
their
the mean.
hearts.
They're the mean-spirited ones.
Yeah.
Lutetia. Lutetia is her name. Madeline's the other Madeline.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
and this is where he says, yes, hold on. Well, first there's a communist spy working as a janitor.
With a little camera on a little broom.
Yep. And his
can't
his
tell.
Comet bottle opens into a phone.
It's so cool, though.
Yes.
I did enjoy that.
You can't what?
You can't tell
That it's a communist
spy.
No, because
They miniaturized all of China except for this one.
Yeah, he's now the
guy.
tallest Chinaman in the world.
Right. Can we use that word? Is that a word? Because
Chinaman.
Chinese
Man
person?
from China. Yeah.
Like, sure.
Man from China. Yeah.
I mean, if we're getting that wrong and we're insensitively hurting people, this is one. This one is not.
From this film, I learned a new slur for Asian folks. It's
Really?
in there. Yeah. We don't.
Oh, Zipperhead?
Yeah, there it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, you didn't know that one
No,
before?
I didn't.
I just skipped over it because I'm like, that's gross. But
That's dumb.
You know,
Yeah.
cool.
I was just going to say
Yeah.
Not useful.
education.
Right.
There you go. Don't call people zipperheads. And I'm pretty sure Chinaman's okay.
Yeah,
if it's not used in a derogatory
Right.
sense, because you're just describing that he's a man from China.
Right. Well, there was
I don't think
Englishmen.
anymore.
Yeah.
If
I can't do that anymore.
I don't think so. I think it's like a post 2020 thing where we're not supposed to say like Chinaman.
Oh
Well,
oh,
we apologize.
God. Okay.
But this movie did you way dirtier than
Yeah.
we are.
So we could just talk about
you know,
the whole movie assumes
Let's just take it back to
We're gonna
1982.
think it's a big joke. You know, it's
Yes.
a big joke about how finally the Chinese have beaten all of us and everyone is much less
Right.
smart, etc.
I mean, we could say that this movie is very blatantly offensive to Asian people.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
So the conversation for casting or for directors, producers with Pat Morita must have been interesting. They take
Yeah.
him out to lunch, talk about the film. For him to go, excellent.
Yeah.
Maybe they said, but it'll be
Only
so
got his
over the
pages.
top, they'll know.
How
we're
much
kidding.
of his $4.7
Tongue in
million?
cheek.
It's probably
Yeah, all of it went to
probably
Pat
because-
Morita.
it's probably because he's a Japanese American who was born in California.
Yeah.
So they were
Yeah.
like, look,
He's not
no,
gonna care.
no one from China said yes to this.
Right.
So can
It's
you
green
do
light.
it?
Yeah. All right. Then this spy working as a janitor is the tallest man from China now in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Frankenstein, who's definitely a real doctor, rolls in and says, "Look, you guys go back to being rich and beautiful, and just leave the kids because they're going to die in a couple days."
Although some rich folks did let other people deal with their children altogether.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that also wasn't necessarily like the craziest thing. But
Oh, that was a real thing. People just be like, I'm not going to be a parent, so call me when you're 18. This person's going to raise
yeah, or
you."
come for photo ops or whatever, and at
Really?
nice family events or whatever.
Yeah.
Really?
That's a rich person thing.
It's a rich person thing.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Kind of a royal thing too, right?
Yeah, finishing school.
They're not going to breastfeed the child. That's
Schitt's
for
Creek?
sure.
Schitt's
Rich
Creek
people, you know what I mean?
grosses about- or
Like
jokes about it.
the royal people or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of them are like,
Really?
That's literally why there's a wet.
No, I don't want to. No way that's happening.
Yeah. That's
Fancy royal rich people let other people raise their kids?
yeah.
James, that's why that's the profession of wet nurse is a
Okay,
thing.
no, hold on. Now, let me preface this by saying I know that they have nannies and such, but they like still live at home and still see their parents,
Boarders?
right? You're talking
Briefly.
about like they literally say, "You go live over there."
I'm sure there are many degrees of it, but often they live in the house. You're right.
Jeez
They
Louise.
do. But I'm just saying, it wasn't this movie. It didn't make something new for that. Lots of other reasons, but not for that.
But they literally put up a house.
They open a mansion up for them. Yes.
With a sign that says, "Don't enter."
Yeah. So they have this mansion they set up for the kids to live in. But why? They're supposed to live a couple days.
With a staff of 17.
Well, there's a bunch of people that come in while they're moving in and just hire themselves.
Abbott and Costello come in. I saw that at the painters.
So Dr. Frankenstein is interviewing people.
He's not even interviewing.
Not even interviewing.
People show up and
But
go, "I work here now."
Once again, I love how the Chinese fella
Yeah.
walks in
Well, we do need a cook.
and he's like, we need a cook. And he's like, I got to ask you one question. You a communist?
No, I love free enterprise.
Which was pretty funny.
That's funny. Yeah,
I
he's
like
got an
that.
American flag inside his jacket.
Yep.
He goes, "Well, you wouldn't be lying, would you?" No, that's illegal.
Yeah.
Well, can't argue with that logic.
Yep. Let's go party with champagne.
He's like, "You look familiar. I'm Asian. We all got the same damn face." That's literally what he says.
That's right.
And later they come back to that too. They call that back in the movie. Again, they're trying to go. I imagine at that point they're like, it's so over the top. It'll be funny because
Yeah.
we're all on the same page, making fun of stereotypes.
Oh, yes. Let me just tell you, I was sitting in my living room laughing, just giggling my ass off at all of this stuff. I fell off the couch. I almost had to be brought to a hospital because my wife thought I was having a heart attack because I was laughing so hard at
That's
this movie.
not true.
That's what it was, James. Wow.
You're
I was
being
mad at you.
facetious. I like the word facetious
You know
because
what?
every vowel's in alphabetical order. Oh. The end.
That's more
Thank you.
interesting than this movie. Then they just out of nowhere throw in an interlude about gas prices and chicken shit. Okay, that's
No
part
joke.
of this movie.
No joke.
Yep.
That's real. Gas prices and
Because now it's like
Yeah.
5 years later, and you see the price of gas price go up, and then it's
10,000 a
10
gallon.
years later, and it's $10,000 a gallon, right? And then they come up with a way to.
Chicken shit's $27.
That's what I'm saying.
27 cents.
So they invent a way for the combustion engine to run off of chicken shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
everybody got that.
Everybody got that?
Yep. You beat me to it.
You know,
So if anyone calls you that, you're valuable.
That's right.
this was where the one good joke in the movie was. When the guy walks.
How dare you?
When the one guy walks in,
Get
and
out
he
of
says,
here.
he says, "What do you do?" He's like,
No.
"Oh, I'm a handyman," and he holds out his hand, and his hand's all covered in blood, and it's wrapped up. No, didn't even make you laugh just a little bit.
Oh, good for you.
I mean, I did see that.
Maybe.
I'm like, the guy who works with tools and isn't very coordinated. That's great. Still not funny.
Maybe just in comparison to what has come.
You
thus
lower your
far.
standards.
15.
Way
Yes, you guys
faster
are
than
being.
we do.
Both of you are being way too nice about this movie.
They tried real hard, James.
I don't give a crap.
You want to know?
I
A
don't
chicken
give
crab?
a damn how hard they tried
you're
or
right.
or any of that.
I tried to watch this on Friday night, and I got through maybe the first 7 minutes.
You
and
coward.
I turned it off and said, "Nope."
I wish I watched this later, or that I still had a phone or any other distraction. I did not. I watched this alert.
You know what? I was praying for a kidney stone, Clint, and you of all
son of a
people would have. No, I was saying you of all people would appreciate that. That you know how much that hurts. I know how much it hurts. I had one in the middle of the Double Dragon episode
Yep.
a little while ago. Okay. And I was like daydreaming about me sitting here during Double Dragon having to get hauled away.
Will my Aflac coverage get me out of this? Can I get paid enough to not have to podcast?
Seriously. 15 years have passed. We're moving on. 15 years have passed. And Dr. Frankenstein is paying a visit to the Swains at their home,
At their actual house.
at their actual house.
21 minutes in, we finally meet the twins. Moving
We're
on.
not even met the twins yet.
Okay, soon enough. Okay.
We go to the Swains' house in their mansion. The doctor's not there 4 seconds. He's trying to stick a thermometer up Madeline Kahn's ass.
That's true.
Again.
That
Okay,
is
again.
unfortunately true.
He did say again, because she's like, I'm not a child anymore.
Oh, you'll always be a child to me. Like literally anybody else come into the frame at this point. Anyone, please get here, enter in.
Big Bird, whatever.
Big Bird.
I'll take it.
Snuffle up against.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get Elmo.
I was gonna say, "Tickle me, Elmo."
That's not right. Please, I'll take any Sesame Street character right now. And in this movie, I wouldn't have been surprised if all of a sudden Bert and Ernie had showed up at
Right.
some point.
And they just kind of like raise an eyebrow.
yeah. Hey, Bert. Yeah.
2 unicorns. Cool.
Could have happened.
You said she's pissed. You said they were going to die. You said it would take 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months, and now it's 15
That's
years.
15 years.
I feel like I should see them. Like, oh,
You'd have,
wow, how giving of you. That 15 years later, you're like, I should now see them.
Yep.
Right? Everything is going perfectly normal. This is a real sentence. Until Pat Morita in a flying fortune cookie
yes.
shows up at the mansion and knocks
pool.
Jerry Lewis off of a cliff.
Sure.
Okay.
Jerry Lewis has to do his Jerry Lewis thing.
His space acting, where there's nothing there.
Yep.
How does he suck at it so bad? This is his thing, right? I literally looked at this whole thing like, this is all this guy does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
And
fall
he
down.
sucks at this.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah.
Pat Morita pops out of this cookie when it finally lands to tell these morons, or tell them they're morons, because you should have been watching the news while you were giving birth.
Yeah.
And I said that the key to Chinese
Then
advancement
she's
was
like,
twins.
oh, I saw it. So
No, you didn't, because you were literally like about to have babies at the time. Were you watching the news while you were giving birth?
No.
Did you have a baby in the hospital?
I did.
Okay, I didn't know if you were. I was going to ask.
It was a C-section, though. I was out.
Okay,
Or
so
no,
you were
I
out.
was in.
Did your head?
I was busy, though.
Doesn't matter.
You were busy. Nicola's not connected right now. She was offline. It's just your head's hanging off the side of the table.
Yeah.
You've got the hose in your
bit of
mouth.
drip.
Yes,
with
it
the
was a
air.
hose, exactly.
And then you're just looking at the TV
Yep.
while they're taking care of business. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh.
I went to a dentist once, and there was a TV on the ceiling.
Yeah.
It was
So-
amazing.
I'm trying to set the scene of your birth of your kid only to say, do you remember what was on the news that day?
No.
Okay.
No.
So there you go.
No.
You're a moron, according to Pat Morita and the fortune cookie.
Right. There was a whole curtain in front of me, so I'm assuming those are my children, but they could have handed me anybody.
They could. It's true.
I don't know.
Don't tell them.
Right?
I mean, wait till they're 18.
They're too like me.
Like,
Too obvious.
we found out the long way.
Right?
Yeah.
At least you have that confirmation.
Side door.
All right, Pat Morita says you're an idiot. You should have known. You got to go get back to those kids, because we need to negotiate a deal for the control of gravity.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
first of 9
So
times.
15 years later, after the miniaturization of China, he
Yeah.
wants to control gravity. These twins should have unlocked this for the United States of America by now.
What's wrong with China having control of gravity?
Well, because they'd probably just use it for evil.
That's probably true. In this movie,
And yes,
Good
no,
Lord.
like
In this
I'm
movie.
sorry.
Correct.
Yes.
Back at the mansion, they're having a
Why
rager.
isn't there ever a woman chin?
Meanwhile,
Yeah, that's
Come
great.
on.
Honestly, you know what? It's 2024.
Unbelievable. This is going to be the one thing that goes real out of this episode. Legitimately, we will not be able to call them mansions
And we need
anymore.
a woman shin for these children. That's
Right.
why they grew up like
It
this.
should have been a children's chin, really.
Children's
I guess.
All right, back at the
Okay.
children's shin. They're having a rager
Yep.
while the kids are asleep.
15-year rage.
That's right.
I gotta tell you, that was fun to watch. The little party they had, the way they were dancing. I enjoyed that, like, minute. The minute of the film, we're just like, do,
Like a little respite.
Yeah.
I
Marty
enjoyed
Feldman.
that only from the I'm better than everybody in that room for one moment.
It was fun.
Artie Feldman had his underwear on, and they shot this scene in such a way as to that you could tell that they thought that was going to be hilarious.
Yes.
Right.
Marty Feldman.
Yep.
Oh no, he's in his underwear. Upstairs, the kids are sleeping in giant cribs. This is our first time getting to see the twins
Right.
In very large-sized baby outfits.
in the entire movie. They never take them off.
yeah.
Wilbur does eventually when he goes to military school,
Yep.
but otherwise they are in these footy pajamas
I
the whole
tried.
movie.
And I cannot get a 4 extra large pink fuzzy footy jamma until 2 weeks from now, or I'd be wearing it now.
I would pay almost anything to see you in one, Clint.
Yes.
Almost anything.
Well, it'll be here in 2 weeks. I apologize.
Perfect.
Had I known,
If you would like to send one, we have 3 ways to connect with us.
P.O.
The smaller the size
right.
you send, the more interesting it's going to be.
P.O. Box 383, Burlington, Wisconsin, 53105. Send Clint a footed pajama set, and whatever size they are, we'll
Preferably
make him
pink.
squeeze into it.
But
Yep.
blue or gold would
right.
be usable.
and it needs to have the flapper in the back.
No, the
It
front.
doesn't need to.
For
but-
him, it's got to be on the front.
I mean, depending on how the rest of this week goes, it might not matter where it is.
We'll see. All right. The kids, we find out now that it's Jerry Lewis and Madeline Kahn. The
Yes.
two twins are.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
They're 7 feet tall. Okay. And they've got 4 heads like a drive-in movie theater.
5 heads.
Okay.
And fake teeth. That's it.
7 heads. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
big foreheads and fake teeth. That makes you
Yes.
a monster.
Well,
Yes.
The size of their head does depend on if they're rubbing each other or not.
Well, whether or not their heads pulsate
Yeah.
And tingle.
and tingle.
If they're
I was over that part very fast.
But you're right, Nicole, in saying that this is kind of dumb that they're just like, I expected them to be very freakish, but all they have is fake teeth in and gigantic foreheads.
That's it. It's like,
Like, these aren't even the ugliest people from the beginning of the movie.
Right.
I've seen uglier people in this film.
I mean,
I thought you were going to say in this room, and I was like,
No.
yeah, that's
all right, it's me. I'm sorry.
literally like Marty Feldman.
Yes.
It's-
He looks more like a freak. No offense to Marty. He's made
I
up
was
to look that way.
happy that he wasn't used as that. I was
Yes.
actually glad that
Yes.
For
they
sure.
chose something else.
Yes.
1 point out of 4 gibillion.
They dance, the two of them, in their room and talk about how dumb everyone is. And so to impress mom and dad, they're like, we have to be
Dumb.
super dumb.
Like, because these people that they sent us to learn from are all idiots. Therefore, being an idiot must be positive.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we're so smart, we must become stupid.
And there was a scene where they talked about the papers they were writing about various deep things, but that scene was longer and slower than it had to be.
Way.
Faux show.
Way.
There was dialogue.
Yeah, there was in 3 of the scenes.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, this was one of the 3 scenes. The next scene, funny enough, no dialogue of note in the next scene because the next scene is the dinner scene
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
where
Yes.
they feed the twins dinner
Yep.
for what felt like 10 minutes.
It was so long.
Yeah. They have this dining room that they draw shower curtains basically around the perimeter of, and they then set all the food down in front of the twins.
His room is armored.
Yeah, it's made out of steel.
Yeah.
So they can't get in or out because they were thought to be dangerous
Dangerous.
because they're so powerful. They're like little
ugly.
Incredible Hulks,
Yeah.
right? And the whole scene is just Madeline Kahn and Jerry Lewis gibbering and making gibberish noises
And throwing food.
and throwing food at themselves
Sure.
and other people
And Sylvester.
for so long.
Poor Sylvester.
Bro, spaghetti, lettuce.
Yep.
What
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
But I guess my question is, it was supposed to be, shocking to them. They were like, "Oh my gosh!" But how do they usually eat? Was that every day?
Is this an every?
I was going to say,
is this every day?
They literally, like, this has to be like the everyday standard operating procedure of how they feed these kids.
Right.
So
That's why they got the curtains.
exactly.
So they've been doing this for 15
Been doing
years.
this for 15 years,
You'd think you'd have a hose delivery.
day in and day out.
That's why they're having a rager every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gerbil tubes.
Got a deal.
Tubes. It's just they get their mouth over their gerbil tube and they just shoot the food
wants
in.
to drink
Sometimes
from the fire hose.
it's V8 for vegetables.
Oh gosh, you imagine high-powered V8 rockets straight into your mouth.
Who wants chowder? Sorry.
Oh my god. Good tie-in.
Family
All right.
Guy.
I like it.
Clam chowder via hose.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
That's more. This scene was more disgusting than that was, though. All right, the parents decide that they're going to come see the children
With the president of the United States.
Now-
Oh, I don't want to bury the lead there. No, the president is with them.
Yes, and the parents did not plan to go see them first.
Oh
Just show up.
no,
It's fine.
they're just like, we're just going to come in. He calls during the rager, right?
Yeah.
Hey, President of the United States at the beck and call of the Swains because they're beautiful and rich.
Yeah.
Married
Sure.
and related to the Rockefellers.
The Rockefellers and all the other people.
Other ones.
Oh, yeah, all the name dropping.
Do, 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 do.
Call Sylvester. Hey, Sylvester. Hey, well, now they're there. Sylvester meets them at the curb. Oh, the Chinese told us that the kids are great, so we're really excited to see them and how smart they are. The president gets out, and the president and the parents walk in and are introduced to the children. Here are the children, and this is the president of the United States, to which Wilbur, Jerry Lewis's character, says, "Blah!"
Yep.
to the president
Just like
was
that.
The actual dialogue delivery.
of the United States. And then it's a 5-minute Benny Hill routine,
They should have played that.
right?
song.
I swear, I don't know. Yes. This whole thing of them just chasing each other once again in Tom and Jerry style, around the couch, around the fireplace. Yep. Exactly.
Okay. At one point, Jerry grabs the cameraman and shakes him. Did you ever
Yes.
see that? Like dead to camera, and
Yes.
the camera is shaking because it's like he reached past the screen and started shaking the cameraman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello, is this thing on?
I wish it wasn't. I bet he woke up. I bet the cameraman was dead ass asleep. And then he was, and then his,
Okay.
If I gotta watch this, you do too.
exactly.
Like the Secret Service comes in and starts drawing their guns.
Oh my God. Yeah, the Secret Service runs in with guns and get disarmed by these two kids in footy pajamas.
Wilbur just takes the gun and just bends it apart and goes like, ah!
Yeah, I didn't realize they were. I guess he did open up his crib earlier, but I was like, why are they super strong?
Thank God we don't have Secret Service that bad now. Jeez.
I did enjoy Madeline Kahn just went, please God, let me faint. Can I please faint? And I was like, that's spectacular. I want to use that quote for myself.
Like she's asking permission.
Yes, please God, can I faint?
Please, is now okay?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. It's, dude, Wilbur. All right, look, we got to keep going. Later that night, the twins overhear them.
but this is the best scene in the movie.
Please.
Oh, come on. There is no such thing as the best scene in this movie.
Jim
flip-flop you can throw at
Bacchus,
him.
right? Jim Bacchus as the president of the United States of Gilligan's Island fame, who has this wonderful monologue talking about how he's the leader of the greatest nation in the world, now run with an economy now based on chicken shit.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
With such gravitas.
Yeah. And at the end, they had sprayed the kids with mace, a big can that said mace.
Oh, that's right. They said
But
the
they made it
guards
look
came.
like they fell asleep. But that's not what mace does.
That's not what Mace
Thank you.
does.
I'm sorry. The guy with the can spraying the mace is coughing and dying too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Room
for
is
sure.
uninhabitable.
Aerosol tear gas, pretty much, right?
Right.
Here you go.
That depends on the kind you use.
Sure.
Oh, that's another thing. You want to line up 4 people in a room and spray them in the face with that before watching this movie again. I'll be guy number 2 next to Ryan.
I'll
you go.
be, hey,
You sure?
Put me back on the goddamn roof of the fire station. Call it a police station.
Yeah, we
and
maced
spray
you.
me again.
That's
I'm in.
right.
I'm in. Let's do it.
While
way
Jay's
better.
punching you in the side.
Yeah, unbelievable. Let's go.
And by the way, the twins are strong and tall, but they're not fast. They ran so slowly around one room in a big line.
The president's hiding behind a ficus, right?
Yep.
Just great stuff. Later that night, the twins overhear that their parents are shocked at how dumb they ended up being.
Yeah.
And so then they have the realization themselves, oh crap, this is bad that we're dumb.
Yeah, we're going to do an aptitude test on these.
So then they come down the stairs and go, Mother, Father, Letitia, and Caleb Swain, we are your children, for we are very smart and intelligent and not these dumb morons that we've been pretending to be.
We know how to tie ties, put on lipstick, and wear modern clothes.
That's right. Can't you see how smart we are? We are very smartly dressed. And Madeline Kahn, bless her heart, comes up and gives this speech to them before they can really explain themselves about how she's failed them as a mother. And this poor woman is trying so hard to give the goods in this movie and in this scene and in other scenes as well. And I just remember sitting there going, oh, Madeline, you're just stop.
Run away. Faint.
Stop.
Please faint.
Just stop. Right? At some point, it's okay to just mail it in.
I respect it.
Yeah, I guess.
Because when it comes, like you said,
Yeah.
Jerry Lewis,
Yeah.
who's considered one of the greatest comedians of all time.
Not on my book.
No, not necessarily in my book either, but like who absolutely sucks in this movie.
Yeah.
Madeline Kahn is the only shining star that actually tries just a little bit.
And now, see, I don't want to say she's a shining star, and I love Madeline Kahn because I think, and whether it's the movie that fails her or everything around,
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't think it was a good performance, but I could see her really trying hard that she just can't overcome.
Yeah.
Isn't there
Everything.
a point where you are on a movie and you're like, this sucks, I'm out?
You can't.
Why not?
Because you're contracted.
Plus, I'm sure a lot of the same people who were doing other films that she was like, it's like a club, right?
Right.
Like Marty Feldman's there, and I'm sure people from,
Right.
This is could you
Well, it
imagine?
is. They all know each other.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the 5 of these people out to dinner after shooting this turd instead of going to the premiere because there wasn't one? They're all together and everything and just reminiscing over
So
how
sad.
terrible this was.
I gotta imagine she's so sad. You imagine? I just picture Madeline Kahn after a day of shooting, just out on the back lot with her forehead still on, smoking a cigarette.
But also
what
maybe
the
having a lot
hell
of
is going on?
Reminiscing over that gun that the baby bent in half, and I wonder if it still works.
I would say maybe she had faith in the editing somehow, faith in what they were filming.
Yes,
Because
well,
you
you
don't
have
see
to.
the other side.
You have to. This is the thing about actors is
Yeah.
you have to put your total trust and faith in the director and the editor and all that stuff to make you come off well, because there's a lot of times as an actor you're put into situations that on the day when you're shooting it in the scene with no music, no score, it feels ridiculous.
Yeah.
And as you shoot, you go, I have no idea if this is going to work. Okay. Michael Keaton said that about Beetlejuice when they were making the first one, right?
Yeah.
But he trusted Tim Burton that it was going to all kind of come together, and it did. And so you're put in things that with the wrong editor, wrong music, wrong director, you end up looking like this.
Right.
But
When you're putting yourself out there on something
you have to
insane.
you have to just go for it, because what the hell else are you going to do? Go home? You can't. You're under contract.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's just it's rough. All right, where the hell were we? All right, turns out we're smart
cares?
as hell. No, so the doctor says we need to test you, right? Aptitude test. So they separate them for the tests, and it doesn't go well.
Right, because they're only smart when they're close together.
Right. There's a
Closer
telepathic.
together, the smarter they are.
There's a part when Madeline Kahn is just doing Tai Chi as Eliza, and I loved it too. Like, just there's these little tiny snippets that I'm just like, yes, make it all those. Make it like a 1-minute film.
That's right. That's right. And they find out that they're telepathic because there's a reflex test on Wilbur, and upstairs Madeline Kahn kicks somebody in the nuts and goes flying.
And he goes flying.
Sylvester, Marty Feldman goes flying off the frame.
He goes flying out of frame.
Above the frame.
Not even off screen. Literally, like he launches him.
So they gather everybody together and they're like, gosh, damn it, Mr. President, I'm sorry, but turns out they dumb as hell, these kids. All right? I wasn't that far off with my initial assessment. The 2 kids walk in, they're like, we'd like to take the test again. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly how Jerry Lewis says it.
No. I'm like, just let Madeline talk for you, please. Can you just be the strong, silent one?
But he's not.
but
He's the
not.
one. He's the one that speaks and writes.
He's the mouthpiece.
Yep.
So they're like, no, anything you should be able to do together, you should be able to do on your own, right? You know, you gotta row your own boat or whatever the hell stupid thing.
Yep.
Dr. Frankenstein says, and they're like, now this is when the president goes, now look, I may be a dumbass from Illinois, which I appreciated that line.
Yeah.
But damn it, if these two freaks can help out the country, then I'd like to see them try, right? Mm-hmm. He turns to them and he says, how can we get this country, now the second best country in the world, this once great nation, how can we get it back on its feet? And so the kids lean over and touch their heads together.
And start damn near making out.
And their hair retracts like a window shade.
It's what happens is
kind of like Madeline's hairline after high school. Or not. Sorry.
They were probably so proud of themselves about how they got things to work. And I'm sure it was a lot of budget was the foreheads.
There's somebody behind them with two strings going, look at just pulling their hair back.
What happens is their foreheads, they engorge too.
Yes.
It's like they inflate. And now they have like these nodules on their foreheads.
Head boners. Let's just call it.
Exactly what they are. They are head boners.
Like sparking and
they're caressing each other's cheeks.
Orbiting lights going around.
There's orbiting lights. Their hands are touching.
And then Jerry Lewis starts to lean into Madeline Kahn.
Just cheeks, though.
And just starts to like open mouth kiss her cheek.
He starts to open mouth.
Forget the fact.
His tongue comes out.
Yes. Now, forget the fact that there's spinning lights around their heads and their heads are pulsating and their hairlines have retracted and all kinds of crazy stuff is happening. But it's that little kiss that makes mom, Madeline Kahn, go, wait a second.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I wanted a smash cut to Ricky Bobby. Was like, is this going to happen? Are we about to get it on?
So Madeline Kahn said, that's it. All right. That's all I can push it. The alarm, please. Get the police.
Well, not even yet, but almost. she almost pulls the damn fire alarm.
Right, get the servants.
Like, she goes, what are you doing? And they're like, nothing. We have to be close.
Because
that's how
the hard question.
Well, how close would you have to get to solve this problem?
She goes, it's the hardest question we've ever had to solve. And so she's like, well, first of all, she says, Caleb, can you explain to them why incest is wrong?
And walks away.
And Dad's like, well, you see,
kids.
when two people are, back in the day, it was okay.
Back in like King Arthur times,
that's right.
People kind of observed that, they're from the same family. They would look kind of different.
Yeah. And even the president's chiming in on incest.
Yes.
In the scene. Yeah. And then, he says, the hardest question we ever had to answer. So we have to be close. And she says, how close do you have to be? And he says, well, we just got to take our tops off and press our flesh together.
Yep.
And that's when she says, hell. And that's when she like pulls the fire alarm.
All right.
Get the guards. They come in, they straitjacket them.
Yep.
And pull them apart. I just needed the president of the United States in that moment to go, hold on a second. You mean to tell me that in order to save this nation, all we got to do is let these two freaks go nipple to nipple?
That's a chance I'm willing to take.
That's a chance I'm willing to take, right? And that's a step too far for mom.
Yeah.
That you're going to flush the future of the United States down the toilet.
Over
just
some
so
babies you wanted to freaking flush down the toilet 15 minutes
just so they don't put their boobies together?
Yeah.
I mean,
Madeline's, I'm sorry, she's wrong on this one. I mean,
it was enough to make us remember her in Clue.
You go look out the window, right? But instead, no, she's just sitting here going,
I hated her so much. It flames on the side of my face, heaving breath.
Yes. I'm like, just go look out the window and let these two put their nips and put these nips together. So let's save America, okay? Can we save America right here in this living room, letting these brother and sisters get going if they needed to?
We got to sell gravity to China, all right?
And that's what's on the line.
We have the product, which is gravity.
Yeah.
We got nothing.
Yeah.
That's right. How you guys all want to just be the United States of China next year? No. Get your shirts off.
Flying around in a chicken shit powered freaking Air Force One.
No. That's when the president needed to be presidential. It'd step up right then and there.
And just in case anyone is wondering what Clint just said, there quite literally was a chicken shit powered Air Force One in this movie.
Like, chickens with the poops. The poops are the fuel.
Like the chicken coop was one side
you.
of Air
Thank you.
Force One.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
Hey.
where Stephen Paul's cameo was.
Oh, that's right.
Stephen Paul was the ensign. Yeah.
The answer.
I want to go back just for a moment. We were talking about how the twins were slightly different, and you said, Wilbur's the one who reads and writes.
Yeah.
From the book that it's based on, throughout the book, Wilbur claims that his sister Eliza is the more intelligent of the two, but that no one realizes it because she can't read or write. Wilbur and Eliza are like two halves of brain. Wilbur as the left brain, and Eliza as the right. Creative, emotional, but unable to communicate effectively.
But instead, in the movie, they neither of them are either, and everyone's brainless.
Right.
Yes.
Got it. That's interesting, though. And that actually is a decent way to write something. Well, wish they would have incorporated it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like they
Wait.
missed an entirety of
If only.
explaining
Yeah.
this.
If only they just stuck to the source material.
Yeah.
Right brain, left brain.
Wow.
Right? All right. In come literally two cigar-chomping security guards to take Wilbur in a horse and carriage because they're out of chicken shit, I guess.
Cigar chomping
whatever.
because they're going to Custer's military camp for
Screw ups.
screwed up boys is what
Yeah,
it
that's
quite
the name.
literally says. Custer's military camp for screwed up boys, right?
Yep. And the Groucho disguise really helps him. I mean, I almost didn't recognize which one.
It was just the
Wilbur.
glasses and mustache plastic thing you can get for 99 cents. It's amazing.
That's right. I was like, is he that one?
Yeah.
That was him.
Is the tall one?
Oh, with a wig over hair, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, because the parents come to visit. This is actually, I'm not kidding, the last time the parents appear in the film.
Yes, they just go away after
just-
this.
You just don't see him anymore. They come to visit Wilbur at the military academy. He's been there a few weeks.
Yeah.
And he's really turned things around, right?
Oh,
Apart from his sister.
When you're watching, when they're taking Wilbur away,
Yes.
Madeline Kahn's stunt double going down the roof is pretty awesome.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
that's
So
true.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Tried to run out and stop the horse and carriage, but
Yes.
they were unable to. Yeah,
And they almost touched.
they almost did.
And then the police guy has to hold on the back
Yeah.
of the truck, which has iron bars. He just holds it on.
Yep, with his body.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Wilbur hasn't been already demonstrated to be super strong.
No, but now he's sad.
That's right. Sad Wilbur's not. Eliza is at home and she won't eat, and they don't like her staying in the attics because there are bats there.
Yep. Sylvester brings up this good point.
You want to talk about the bat song?
Do you want? Are we going to segue into that now?
That's what's happening.
We're past the military camp.
Well, that's all that happens is they visit him. I mean, we go back to the military camp, but in this first scene,
I mean, yeah.
it's just them marching around, and poor cuts back to Eliza going, I'm
Marching
sad.
around.
You can't sleep in the attic. There's bats up there. They're my friends.
And then everybody, we get a musical number
Yes.
Of course, there's a musical
We
number
do.
in this movie.
with
She has a wonderful voice in real life.
Of
Yes,
course,
she
nothing
does.
about this is Madeline's fault. She tries. This is the second moment after the other speech where I was just like, oh, Madeline. She's trying to sell the crap out of this scene, of the song.
Yep.
Right? And there's a stop motion, freakishly non-bat like
Totally real.
human bat
It's not even.
monstrosity.
It's like they had to do stop motion, but then the stop motion was so bad, so then they also CGI'd it on top
Yes.
of it being terrible stop motion.
Yes.
This might very well be the worst visual effect I've ever seen in a film.
Is awful. And then poor Madeline Kahn in her footed pajamas has to sing a song to this bat.
She's singing a song to a bat that's not there. Yeah.
But they're
know.
both monsters, and that's the commentary.
Yes.
Oh, Nicole, my sweet summer child.
And this is where
Just once, I want to hear you nuclear bomb one of these movies.
this is where
If not slapstick,
Yeah.
which one is it ever going to be?
I have read children's menus from the Olive Garden that had better freaking
The pasta names are pretty interesting. Yeah, you're right.
Ollie crushes this thing.
I have more fun in the match game in the highlights at the dentist's office
Right.
than I do watching this movie. Okay.
this is where Steph gave up.
This song, she said, all right,
This is
I'm
where
out.
it was right before the bat number. We paused it and she's like, how much is left? I was like 29 minutes.
Yeah.
She's like,
No.
The
I'm
good
going
news
to
is the last 8 minutes are just dead air.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you're almost there, you're actually almost there. Early.
right. Why,
even
why
there
was that even a
faster.
thing?
I don't know.
But who knows? Yeah.
The fortune cookie crashes into the attic cutting off the bat song.
Yeah.
Thank God. And all right, look, I thought that the Chinese were masters at miniaturization. So why is the fortune cookie freaking humongous?
Yeah, right. Fortune cookies are already pretty small.
Right.
And this fortune cookie is like a platter size.
It's
Like,
huge.
Yeah.
It's like a watermelon. Madeline Kahn carries it into the other room and shakes it.
Yeah,
And you hear all the little Chinese guys go, inside.
You were going to say Chinaman again, weren't you?
I know, never
insensitive
again.
Bastard.
Never again.
How dare you?
Because as of 2024,
and
3 months ago, it's no longer okay.
Was it ever?
I don't know. This is what I'm asking.
I'm enjoying this.
I don't know.
We're having fun over here.
Perfect. Anyway.
What else is he going to say?
Why
What's he going
not
to say?
just have them, if they aren't small enough to live and fly inside of a fortune cookie, why not have them in a flying
airplane? A small airplane.
Just a small airplane that they miniaturized.
Right.
That's an option.
So
But it's so funny. It's so funny.
So these Chinese guys sitting there going, all right,
Yeah.
look, we got to build a spaceship. Because that's what it flies like, basically a spaceship.
Right.
Yeah.
Fortune cookie.
Is that too on the nose?
I think I wrote on the nose when I was writing stuff down. I also have that as a problem with most of the sci-fi things I watch where they're in space, where there's just too much room around people. Like, why is there so much room? Like, actual astronauts, when they're being efficient, have like no space.
No space at all.
They can only catch the water droplets they let go, and they catch them with their mouth in this small area.
Yeah.
Not these guys, though. We did get a little cameo. Do you guys recognize that actor that first came out of the hatch and said, you try any more? Wait, hold on. I've got it right here. He says, in comes, sorry. Oh, my God. Oh, he goes, any more funny stuff, we're going to blow the shit out of you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
That was a guy that played Rain in Big Trouble in Little China. Oh. The guy with the storm with the long hair.
beautiful guy.
The beautiful one.
Yeah.
That ends up getting killed by Wang while they're having their sword fight.
Wang.
That was him. One of the three storms.
So
He had one line, and then he went back in, and Pat Morita comes back out.
Yeah.
Right? Out he comes, and he's like, look, man, so about this deal for gravity.
Yeah.
My gosh. I couldn't even.
It's like, what? Can't we just all use gravity for free? I
I know.
don't understand. It's working.
It's working great. I've never complained about gravity, except when I fell off my bunk bed when I was 9 years old. That was the only time.
But I guess
was like,
if
oh,
you
gravity
control
really-
it, you can let people go soaring through the sky.
That was the one time.
Space flight would be so much cheaper if we
like-
could turn off gravity momentarily.
I was
or
like,
reverse
oh.
it.
But
That
then if
one
you weren't
time.
ready for it, you'd just die. So it's a great weapon and easy.
It's true.
Bye.
Maybe they're trying to do maybe they're making like an anti-gravity machine. Yeah. That's what they want to do.
Know what they're doing.
Well, because there's like the time where they're rubbing heads together, and there's like the flashes up top, and one of them's like E=mc squared.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just to show that they're.
They're thinking
Smart.
smart
Smart stuff.
thoughts.
Smarty.
Pat Morita knows that there's a Ferrari gassed up in the bushes outside, because that's where you park a gassed up Ferrari.
Yeah,
Right.
when the whole world is run on chicken shit and they got actual gasoline.
Well, it was the last gas there was, I think.
Yeah.
It was like the last gas.
So she takes the Ferrari to go break her brother out of military school.
Because she knows how to drive.
Yep. She says, I can't drive. He's like, oh, you push the pedal, you go. What's the big deal?
Yeah. There you go.
Right.
She did get there.
She walks through the front gate of the, literally walks through.
She could have
the
walked
gate
around.
of the military base for screw ups in her footy pajamas. Inside, the boys are getting shock therapied by this guy who's like a masochist with a Dr. Pepper. He's just got this big bottle of Dr. Pepper next to him, and he's just going,
Like an excited DJ. Just
your parents hate you.
They're reading books.
Yes.
And if they look up from their intensive reading on these books, if their eyes gaze off the page at all, they get a shock. Right. There's no words on the page.
Nothing.
It's like, once they get good at this, we're going to put some words on the page.
The guy's
This
playing this
place-
shock thing like a piano.
The noises that came out, I'm like, oh, that's the tectonic tones. That must be one of those Japanese synthesizer things.
Oh, I wish we were watching Masters.
Anything. Yeah.
She walks in and sees her brother getting shocked like crazy. Eliza does. And she just yells, Wilbur!
And you're really up close on her mouth.
You can see her fillings in her teeth.
The camera goes into her mouth.
Yes. And then she like Incredible Hulks and knocks down all of the booths and the glass and the plexiglass and everything.
And then there's just chaos.
Right.
And
She sees the thoughts leaving her brother's head.
Yeah.
All the like
And memories.
and photographs and E = MC squared and all this stuff. And she goes over and picks him up and takes him out, but just leaves the guy who's still just sitting there pressing shocking no one.
Well, she did break the glass of the other guy's little.
So they all got away,
cells, but there was one guy who just took his helmet off and walked out. So I guess they could have done that
the whole time.
Yeah, he's just like,
We have free will.
I'm going to dip. Bye.
Got it. They have 6. Yes, no, I'm just catching my place here. They have 6 soldiers. Okay, they go cut to the front gate where Custer's like, we gotta comb the desert for these guys. Okay,
we ain't found shit.
Exactly.
Would have been better again.
There's 6 soldiers and 6 guys that look like came from Roadhouse. Okay, in this whole military school, and he makes them put on sunglasses in order to go and find them.
Yes,
because that's going to protect them from their stupidity or something.
Sure.
They're so hideous.
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And torches.
Eliza professes her love. Oh, and torches. Yes. Got to have angry
Y'all
mouths. Got to have
torches.
Eliza professes her love for Wilbur, who's still passed out next to a tree. And he wakes up and they put their heads together and come up finally with their grand plan to save America. And their grand plan to save America is to give everybody fruit names.
With hyphens and numbers.
Numbers and minerals.
Can you just imagine a utopia where everybody is family and everywhere you go, you have 70 cousins and 10 brothers and sisters and no one would ever be mad at each other?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, the
These
joke's on all of us.
Have got no families.
No. The joke's on all of us. I'm like, we said this is a whole movie, and this is finally these 2 geniuses put their heads together, and it's like, and this one will be called Cherry, and this person is an apricot, and I'm just like, this is the thing we've been waiting for. I should just be the one lining up like this, and just like, okay, I'm next. Just come by and just kick me straight in my ass.
Good times.
Greatest piece of cinematography
What, they're pulsating boner heads?
that I watched at that moment. That's it.
That was it for you?
No.
You were really into the mise en scene there?
I hate
20 points.
hate the fact that we had to watch this.
Dogs track them back to the children's inn. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
I love it.
And they lock themselves in the steel dining room and no one can get in.
Right.
Yes.
So the guards are going to blow it open with dynamite.
It is the obvious next step.
Yes. But then they're like, hold on, wait a second. Those rich people promised us a gymnasium and we don't want to lose the gym.
Right.
Dr. Frankenstein's right, like says, kiss the gym goodbye. You blow this door open.
Yep.
So they try to talk them down, but that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because they're too busy in there with their throbbing heads together, moments away from fixing everything that idiot Einstein got wrong.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right?
Uh-huh. While Colonel Sharp just rants about...
Yeah.
America.
Meanwhile, the Chinese have flown down the chimney into the dining room with them and threatened violence against them.
They are about to kill them.
Yes.
They draw down on them.
Right. And they're like, well, we'd rather die. We would rather die than help you. Right?
Yeah.
And so they embrace and prepare themselves for the sweet embrace of death.
But then
But wait!
there's more.
No.
The
The tectonic tones come back.
The voice of Orson Welles.
I was going to say.
It actually is.
And you want to know what happens?
What?
Orson Welles does a voice in this movie. How? What?
Yeah.
IMDb.
In the actual flip.
These frickin' fricks.
These frickin' fricks have a movie now with Orson freaking Welles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who said yes to this?
Yeah.
Why?
I
Because
wonder if he knew.
No, I'm sure they were just like, it's a cool movie. It's based on a Vonnegut book, and
Based on a Vonnegut book. Jerry Lewis is in it.
There's throbbing head boners.
They left the throbbing head boners out.
Light incest.
All right, here's the deal.
right?
There has to be
Flying fortune cookie.
an entire freaking catalog full of bad shit people have done in Hollywood, and somebody got a hold of a page and Jerry Lewis was on it, Orson Welles was on it. These guys are being blackmailed so hard for a late night freaking shenanigan.
You're right, Madeline Kahn was there.
Yeah, dude, it's insanity. It's like literally 4 limos got into a car accident and turned into an orgy, and somebody caught it on film.
And next thing you know, he's in the mirror, the makeup mirror, and they put his forehead on him, and he's like, I guess this is what I got to do.
Move along. Can't go back.
Can't go back.
Yeah.
Fortune cookie.
The freaking Chinese are about to, and then the aliens show up, and it's a blatant ripoff of Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yes, it is.
Not only they use the tones in the movie,
Yeah.
but they're even showing the light coming through the heating vents
Yeah.
and stuff, just like they did in that movie.
Even the outline of the spaceship from Close Encounters of the Third Kind is in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we get more,
Out come these aliens.
who are also touching heads.
They also all have really long fingers or just really long gloves.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
didn't.
Maybe one day they'll earn their gloves.
Maybe one day they'll actually have to reach something or
Yeah.
they'll just grow.
Yeah.
The aliens come out and they're like, we are also giant head aliens and we are smart and we thought that you could make America or the world better, but we were wrong. Let's get out of Dodge. Okay, let's dip. And the aliens fly away, and the screen says, "Hi ho!"
It does. It does.
It does say hi ho.
And that's the end of the dang movie.
Thank God it ended. It could be worse. We could be still watching this.
Although we were given a small gift at the very end when there was so much cute waving, like everybody was just waving.
Yes. Oh,
I love
yes.
that too.
I loved how these China people.
Thank you.
People
Thank
from
you.
China.
Thank you for not being offensive.
How these people from China.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I love how these Chinese people were about to just kill them. And then they're like, oh, wait, you're just leaving in a UFO? Okay, bye.
The cutest waves. Cutest. Kawaii. Cute.
Because the aliens threaten to kill them, right? Like somebody that can blow you away.
Yeah, like
right?
when Orson Welles tell you, like, hey, I'm going to blow you.
There was one more gift we got, which is the theme song.
2 heads are better than one.
Putting our heads together. It was amazing. And there was
kids from outer space.
And it was 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is what we are. And I was like, wow.
They're 16?
I don't know anymore.
2 times 2 times 2 times 2?
Oh, I thought you meant their age.
No. I was like, 2 times 2
That would be.
is 8 times 2 is 16. Yeah.
They would be 16.
There you go.
15 years
There you
ago.
go.
There you go.
Oh,
I thought you were commenting on their age and how that wasn't an
No,
appropriate
I was
song.
just trying to do the math in the song.
it could
Well
be
done.
right.
I know.
Okay.
So someone's kid wrote the song. It was pretty good.
Here's the upside.
It was that company that wrote Friday.
And this is something we can all take some joy in, you guys.
Yes.
No.
What?
I refuse to take joy.
No, you can take joy in this.
Nope.
Even you can take joy in this. We never have to watch this again.
Yay.
Well,
Never.
not that we know of.
I mean, from now on, if
Listen.
you ever see it again, it will be by your own choice.
What if somebody comes up to you and says, we're all out of gas,
Okay?
and the only way for us to get more gas is to either
Is to
have
watch these
chicken
two
shit
guys
or
put
watch
their
this
shirts-
movie
oh.
again. You got to watch this damn thing again because
First
we're
of
not
all,
living in no chicken shit America.
There is a less than 3% chance that would ever happen.
no chicken shit, America.
We hope to never have to see this again.
I don't know. I haven't yet pulled the patrons' votes here, which we're going to see here in a second. But
I can't wait.
I
can't wait.
I have a movie, just a question about it.
oh, please.
Why was this couple, like, how did they get the babies?
They don't deem it necessary to answer.
Great.
No, they did at the beginning. The aliens implanted into 2 American family people.
They said that? I
Yes,
watched
they
it.
did.
I
That was
didn't.
it.
I
I didn't get it either. Okay.
Neither.
Well, that makes sense. Maybe because they were rich, they thought they'd have resources for them.
Perhaps, but yeah, like the Chinese got a set of twins. This time, it was right in the beginning. That first voiceover at the beginning, the Chinese had twins, and they figured out the miniaturization and stuff like that. And then they gave the Americans.
So they're coming to steal our twins.
Yeah,
No,
they were
I get
trying
it.
to hook up on a second set of twins. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Just,
But we were too stupid. We sent them to live in a children's shin, and then they never got the benefits of their smarts because we're idiots.
schmarts.
Yeah. So before I even know what they say here, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the president of the United States in this movie,
Sure,
right?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Tell me that wouldn't be
Okay.
Done.
Yeah.
incredible,
I'll take it.
right?
Incredible's a strong word, but yeah.
Listen, I might be like some kind of a dumbass from Illinois, okay? But if these two children could put their tits together and we could fix America, let's do it now. Do it.
Get to the mansion.
It's like, get to the mansion.
They've miniaturized all of China except for the prime minister, who is now Arnold Schwarzenegger at full size.
Yeah.
What you'd have to do, you can't be the president of China. You got to just
he's
make
not the
him.
president.
It's just Austria that figured out miniaturization.
Why not?
Right?
Why not?
Why not?
Why don't we ever see Austria leading on the leading edge of technology and world powers? Right?
Yeah.
We just have it be Austria.
It was close once.
It's probably because they're too hungry.
Just got to give him some turkey.
That's right. Ooh. Nice. Alan Brown playing along with us. First time back for him since Need for Speed.
Ooh.
Hey, guy.
A way better movie.
And doesn't it seem so great right now?
All the action.
Doesn't Need for
My
Speed.
God.
Car just goes up in the sky.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
we're going to need a 2-lane grasshopper here.
guys, if we watch Need for Speed next week, it would have gotten so much better reviews.
Oh,
Whatever movie we do next, it's going to be good movies across the board. I'm just calling it right now. Anything. All right. So he goes, I don't know if even Arnold Schwarzenegger could save it, but he said maybe if he played the twins with Danny DeVito as the other twin instead of Madeline Kahn, right?
Yeah.
I think that would have been
Funny.
Arnold and Danny putting their pulsating heads together.
He's already been a twin.
That would have been great.
That's what I'm saying. Just we just get the two of them to do it, right?
Got the experience.
Hold on. And Danny DeVito just starts to nibble on Arnie's cheekbone and cuts his face on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like 7 foot Danny DeVito.
Danny, 7 foot Danny. No, he's still 4'6".
No, he's the miniaturized. That's right.
He's the miniature twin.
Wait. What are you doing? Well, listen, because we have to get very close if we're going to solve any problems. And so it's just going to require me and my tiny little nugget of a twin here to put our breasts together. And then we solve all the problems.
Beautiful.
Right? Ryan Morrissey says, as amazing as Pat Morita was in his role as the ambassador, Arnie as the Austrian ambassador, and all of Austria is 2 inches tall, comes spinning in on a flying pretzel.
That's more aerodynamic, I think, than
With stogie in hand and demands, you call the president and you tell that dumb son of a bitch that the natural resource is right there. It's twins. Go watch it.
he just throws a piece of like a chunk of salt. He just chucks it.
Chucks it. Listen, you've got to go right now. You've got to rent this in 1986 Ivan Reitman movie called Twins, and everything will be okay. It's just a product placement for another movie he did. Johnny Golab says, as Alan Gavin's expectant father in the waiting room.
There you go.
I'll take any opportunity. How's this? I thought that was going to be ugly, but look, I am now beautiful and you are the ugly one.
Yeah.
It's you.
Really grasping at straws.
That's right. I know.
here.
With this one, Tim Hostler. I just couldn't do it in good conscience. Arnold's too good for this movie. Wow, Tim refusing.
I'm saying this is a tall order. To make this better seems simple, but to want to put up the effort seems so
And subject
hard.
those who have to be in it now.
Yeah.
Yes.
To that.
Oh man, Cam Sully comes in and says, "Post Conan, Arnie could have made this be a wackier sci-fi romp by being one of the aliens and having another crappy Hercules in New York style dub over him, or he could play the aforementioned interrogator." Yeah. So just imagine Arnie as one of the twins here, but it's not his voice.
Okay.
Right? It's just it's this guy, just like in Hercules from New York.
Sure.
Whenever he talked, it is time for us. I am the governor of California. Be
That's
good.
awesome.
Be awesome.
Or Arnold Schwarzenegger can be the editor and just shorten stuff.
He could be the guy in charge of finance and said, nope.
That's right. We can put Arnold in the producer's chair.
Love that.
And then the movie never happens because he takes a script and he reads it, and then he looks up from it and he goes,
Like, who the hell is Jerry Lewis?
"Stop it!" No. It's time to give this movie some awards, you guys.
No.
And, yeah, we have to.
God.
We have to. We're contractually obligated, just like Madeline Kahn was in this movie.
Just like everybody was in this movie.
Okay. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to start with the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
What are you doing with a gun in space?
Gets me every time.
Imagine Will Patton as the Custer guy in this one,
Sold.
you know. So I think there was it was a film director, I think, that made a cameo in that part. I can't remember what the guy's name was. Sam Fuller.
Sam Fuller.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep.
Maybe it was Tom Cruise in the back of that, like he was in the back of. What movie was in the back of?
In Young Guns.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. Cam Sully said for his Will Patton, Madeline Kahn really was dialed in despite having an unwitty script, awful makeup, and an underdeveloped backstory. She was at least engaging. So Cam getting us kicked off with a vote for Madeline Kahn as we head over to Farrell. Who you got for Will Patton, Farrell?
Well, I'll tell you.
Just not today.
Seeing this is a podcast, I would appreciate that you did.
The fact that I have to associate Will Patton with this movie in any freaking way is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Marty Feldman, I guess. I don't know.
We barely talked about him.
I know.
Because he sucked.
Yeah,
I like Marty Feldman.
I
Right,
do.
but he didn't do it.
This wasn't it for him.
No. But I guess at least he
I'm
had.
here for the children.
Yeah.
Like, stop speaking
Yep,
immediately.
Expectation makes this so much worse than it actually is. I mean, the product of this is close to zero, but you look at what it should be and it just isn't.
Yeah. It's like when you're expecting a popsicle on a hot day.
Right. And it's a bouillon freaking it's an old soup base or
It's
something.
like an old soup base lit on fire and stuck in the wrong end. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But frozen broth on a stick could be nice if it's like a really cool avant-garde restaurant.
Not when it's not taken, when it's a suppository.
popsicle.
No.
Sure.
Well,
Fair. I'll give you that.
All right.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
if you're having some problems down there and you got some frozen chicken broth, it might actually make it feel better.
We are already 3 steps further into this analogy than I wanted to go.
Right.
It's supposed to be kind of a throwaway. But if you want to keep talking about unpleasant things to stick up your butt, then we can spend 5
And now
more
our
minutes
sponsor
on
Swanson has more on this.
it. Just kiss that Purdue chicken sponsorship goodbye. Okay. Sorry, Tyson. They're not gonna want. None of them are going to want us now.
I could agree with Madeline Kahn.
Okay.
Because, yeah, she did.
It's not about a good performance. It's just about
like she was committed. She definitely committed. She
gave it.
tried.
Yeah.
She tried her best in every scene.
Yeah.
She really did. Like she gave it her all to the musical number, which was just absurd. I literally, at the time, I was like, I feel like I need to be on drugs to watch this movie.
I tried it.
But at least Madeline Kahn is just making it a little bit better.
that song. There's an empty set. It's just her.
Yeah.
And I have to imagine that when they called cut, she cried a single tear to herself.
She could have.
And then turned around and composed herself and kept going. So vote for Madeline Kahn then.
Yeah.
All right. Tim Hostler says, tough call, but I got to go with John Abbott as Dr. Frankenstein. He tried his best, wasn't just mugging for the camera, and got the couple genuine laughs in the movie with his line delivery. So there we go. Vote for Dr. Frankenstein, 2 for Madeline Kahn. As we head over to Nicole,
My
who's
turn.
eagerly awaiting.
My turn.
Yes.
The electroshock guy. Come on.
He was like, this is my one scene, and I'm going all the way.
Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
What was with the weird product placement besides that? Absolute intent.
Got $5, which is more than they were able to make otherwise.
I think they just forgot to clear the set. before
Also
they started
possible.
rolling.
They almost got sued afterwards.
That's what it was. Dr. Pepper, they called an emergency meeting over at Dr. Pepper because one of the interns went to see Slapstick at that one showing in LA, and they're like, guys, you are not going to believe what happens in the worst part of this movie. Front and center, there is a Dr. Pepper
Placement
bottle.
for Dr. Pepper.
We got to do damage control right now.
Yep.
Call the president, not of our company, of the United States of America.
The real one.
The real one. All right. So we got 2 for Madeline Kahn, 1 for Dr. Pepper guy, and 1 for Dr. Frankenstein. And Johnny Golab says, first things first, I, on behalf of the patrons, wholeheartedly apologize for subjecting anyone to this movie.
Thank you.
Did you vote for it?
Too late,
It
Johnny.
doesn't help.
Wait.
It's too late for your empty apologies.
I'll still take it. Thanks.
Johnny Golab says, Madeline Kahn as mom of the twins. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. 3 votes for Madeline Kahn. Don't even know what to say.
That's great. I can't wait to hear what yours is.
What is mine? I have it here. Oh, here it is.
What is time?
What
Where
is
am I?
even time?
I'll tell you.
I had Madeline Kahn
All right.
as mine. Well, did you think I was going to go somewhere else? What'd you think I was going to go with?
I mean,
To me, Will Patton is like not about necessarily a good performance, is who is just sold out, giving it all, full intense. They believe everything they're saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
like there's an
No, I
electric
know.
current,
Yes.
like just nearby
Right.
them.
yeah.
I'm going Madeline Kahn as well for
That's
my Will
great.
Patton.
I like it.
Yeah. Ryan Morency playing along and said, thanks for having me on this one. This movie is going to break somebody. I can feel it in my 2-inch tall bones. Ryan Morency, breaking news, is from China, apparently.
okay.
So awesome. Look, Will Patton, Chinese spy number 5613, Eugene Choi. This guy was so dialed in that not only was he embedded in this household for 15 years, no one ever suspected him. He even lied about being a communist, and everyone knows that's illegal.
Isn't he the drill instructor too? At
He's
the,
in the yes, he's-
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then he's at the military
Which
camp and
was
he's the drill
funny.
instructor.
So call him back 3 times. Yeah.
Clint.
I'm gonna go with the expectant father who looks a lot more like me. Ugly Dad.
Ugly Dad,
is
that's
the guy in this movie who is 100% straight.
Yeah.
Turns up.
Yeah.
And he's so excited to meet the beautiful person, and then so excited that they're not his babies.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
He did
you're
great.
gonna have the ugly babies now. I'm the beautiful people. It's like, yep,
Yep.
that's the guy. That's
He
the
did
guy.
great. He did great.
You want to know what his name is?
What's his name?
Alan Garvin.
All right.
Alan
Good job, Alan.
Garvin.
And you want to know what?
What?
He did not have a successful career as a character
Oh,
actor.
dang, I wish he
Matter of fact, this is the only movie he ever did.
God damn you, Jerry Lewis! You ruined this man.
He said never again. Another.
Maybe he had a nice time and enjoyed craft services. It could have been a good day.
Nope.
He got to work with Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
He got
That's
to
why
do
he quit acting
He got to
forever.
do a scene with Jerry
Right?
Lewis. It's like, well, bucket
He
list.
was there today. Orson Welles called in. You
right.
gotta clock a whole bunch of things off the list.
Finally, Alan Brown says Sam Fuller as Colonel Sharp, only because he popped into mind first. I really don't think anyone should blemish this prestigious honored award from this movie. But that does mean that ultimately, with 4 votes, Madeline Kahn is going to win the Will Patton Award for intensity. Trying the acting definition of trying to pull blood from a stone
Yeah.
is Madeline Kahn in this movie.
If we're gonna be not offensive to people, can we not use the terms "blood from stone"?
Oh, is that offensive
Thank
to
you.
rocks?
No,
I'm
me.
sorry. To you? Oh, kidneys.
Let the record show, I think Madeline Kahn is fabulous.
Oh, she's the best.
But I just thought Electroshock guy was real into it.
No, she was. Also true. But him and Father, Ugly Dad, really good.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to give a shout out to Madeline because I just felt terrible for her.
Yep.
All right, let's keep this thing going. It's time to. This is going to be the most hotly contested award in this movie, and that is the movie award. I should say. Let me start that over. That is the award that we've named after the human trash can, Steven Seagal. We give out to the worst actor in every movie we talk about, and so and it's not a career award. I just want to preface this by saying people that have had great successful careers have won this award. It's about their performance in this movie. It's the Steven Seagal Trash Can Full of Dirt Award.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt, yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
You imagine Seagal as one of the twins.
No change. Movie plays exactly the same.
I actually don't need my twin in order to be smart, so it's okay that she's home.
I make out with myself and touch my tits together all the time.
It's just Steven
I could solve any problem.
As both twins.
As both twins.
He's in a.
I'm sorry.
Steven Seagal.
That wasn't as Steven Seagal. That's just a comment I was making about my own life.
No, I got you. I respect it. All right, Cam Sully kicking us off again here. And Cam says, can't find him listed on the credits, but I still think it's Robert Hackman. He's talking about the guy that was doing the electroshock therapy for Will Patton, who's playing the laughing interrogator. He was insufferable, and regardless of his direction, he overdoes it, making this final scene even more out of tone with the already tonally inconsistent film. Another dishonorable mention to the cowardly guard who runs away when Khan is entering the base, which I believe was played by the director himself, Stephen Paul. He looked like he was forced at gunpoint to act in the scene and didn't even try selling the scene as it was. But ultimately, it's going to be Robert Hackman, the laughing interrogator with the Dr. Pepper. Ryan, who you got as your trash can nominee?
Let's go.
Trash can doesn't even begin to collect the cast of this movie because we're going to need a dumpster for it.
They had one in Garbage Pail Kids.
They did. They filled it with dead bodies of other Garbage Pail Kids.
Sam Fuller was terrible.
Yeah.
I thought he was terrible.
Yeah.
Pat Morita was terrible. But the biggest offender by far is Jerry freaking Lewis.
Wow.
Who, listen, the guy that Jim Carrey says, I am because he was. The modern comedy is based on Jerry Lewis's career.
Right.
And here's a guy who, I've seen some Jerry Lewis movies. His Nutty Professor. It's great. He did a movie called The Bellboy. It's great physical comedy.
Yes.
He did a movie called At War with the Army. I have it. It's funny.
Wasn't he one called The Painter or something like that with Dean Martin?
Probably.
I really like that one.
Because they did 11, 12, 13, 14 movies together, right?
Yeah.
But my God, his physical comedy in this movie sucks. His line delivery sucks. His appearance sucks. His attitude sucks. His everything sucks in this movie.
Why did I sit on this side of the friggin' table? It's all going to be done by the time it gets here.
No, you're fine.
Just the fact, his portrayal of the, special needs twins.
Yeah.
It's so cut out of this outdated, it's so offensive and just revolting. And the fact that I have seen Jerry Lewis in many things, and now I just saw him in this, it's all right. Wow, you, sir,
well said,
can right off.
Okay, all right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Tim Hostler, and then we're going straight to Clint because I can see he's chomping at the bit over here. Is that cool with you, Nicole?
Absolutely.
All right. So Tim Hostler also says Jerry Lewis easily. When you hang your hat on the Nutty Professor from 3 decades earlier, you better adapt with the changing times. Instead, it's the same old shtick here that he's done 1,000,000 times. Never a fan, and this did nothing to change my mind. I'm kind of surprised he didn't put in big fake teeth and play the Chinese guys too. Yuck. I needed someone to hold a telethon for me to pay me for sitting through this mess.
20 points.
Nice. All right, Clint.
Expectation. It goes back to expectation. This guy has been everything. You can't even... I'm sorry, I'm not going to take blame away from the director or the editor or the anything else, but legitimately, this guy can make nothing funny, right? Which is to say he can make anything funny. Yeah. So even if he was given nothing here, there should have been one inkling, one scene, one something that came across as... At least I see it. I didn't even see one. I mean, it's probably cut on the floor. The guy probably did 4 days of hilarious material. The only thing I can say is he did great. And they're like, no, we got to reshoot it. We got to reshoot it. The guy didn't want it.
Yeah.
The only way that this movie is as bad as it is because the guy making it didn't want it better because better was there. Yeah. Expectations across the board, but Jerry Lewis with the hardest letdown. And again, maybe not his fault, but God damn it, he's taking the hit on this one.
He has. I mean, he's the biggest name in the movie because if a studio exec is like, well, Jerry Lewis wants this, but Stephen Paul wants this.
Right. Well, my thing is...
It's going to go to Jerry,
Jerry Lewis read the script, And sure, he signed up, he said, yeah, we're going to do this. You still have some fight, you've got some pull, you've got everything else because you've got studio heads that are above this guy making the movie as well. So like legitimately, he's got some pull, but he says from the get-go, I trust this guy. He's going to make the right movie. He still made the call and says, I want to be on that guy's movie. I trust his vision. Let's go. He screwed up.
No, for sure. Both of you, very well said. Very well said. Johnny Golab says, look, Jesus, just piss in the dark and you'll hit a winner for this travesty. Guess I'll land on Jerry Lewis as Simple Jack, as Eli Manning, as the Geico caveman. Too bad he wasn't killed by thousands of hornet stings to the urethra after this instead of a heart attack. That coward. Frickin' coward. That's strong take from Johnny Golab. Nicole?
Well, I was trying to find one of the lesser characters, as I am apt to do, or I am, I like to do that. Yeah. I was thinking more about, okay, yes, the electroshock man was very intense in a way that did distract, so I can see that. But I really do hold Jerry Lewis responsible for a lot of the
Wow.
And I think as much as he's not the director, I still think he had a lot of pull. I would imagine, I wasn't there, but I feel like a lot of people were like, yep, we're going to follow your lead. You're the guy who knows this stuff. This is your kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he made me wince a whole lot.
A whole lot. Mm-hmm. All right.
Stephen Paul he was 22 years old.
Okay, so there you go.
Jerry Lewis is 53, 54 years
58.
old. 58.
Jerry Lewis is 58 years old.
A damn established professional.
And Steve wasn't going to have the pull to overrule Jerry, and Jerry probably wouldn't take much direction from him, I have to imagine.
And Jerry did a lot of stuff after this. I didn't know if it was him being forget it. Right.
Yeah. No.
Maybe he was just having an off year.
Ryan Mornsey says, this could be controversial here, but I'm going Marty Feldman as the butler. I've loved him in other roles, but he was just too much of a creep and his style of jokes didn't land in this setting. However, feel free to dash the entire housekeeping staff into the trash can as well for their treatment of the twins, except for Lum Fung. He's the only one who didn't torture the twins. So he's basically Marty Feldman.
The one lady nurse as well tried, I think so. Really, truly trying to be.
But sometimes I think she seemed to be the least theatrically trained. She sort of like giggled and looked off to the side and stuff. So she was a little distracting for not having chops, as they say with acting.
I'm pretty sure one of the people that worked at the Children's Shin was the old lady that ran the bed and breakfast in Groundhog Day, where he says, "Do you ever have deja vu?" And she goes, "I can check with the kitchen." I think she was one of the staff in this movie. I'm almost positive it was Groundhog Day.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
There was someone that's whenever they had to clean up quickly for the president coming, that Sylvester was talking to and telling to get down the underwear from the flagpole and put up Old Glory.
Yes.
I think that was to Mildred. I think he was saying it maybe to her.
Maybe it's her. Alan Brown said Jim Backus as the president. He didn't really add anything to the movie other than just being there for a few reaction shots, I guess. And so it falls to me, and I will be very short. And it's all been said. So let me just be the one that adds the knuckles to the sandwich for Jerry Lewis straight into his face and say, yeah, you're eating this one, buddy, because this had you written all over it. Mm-hmm. And so the trash can winner, I'm happy to hit the applause for Jerry Lewis. Good job.
Should have never happened.
No, should have never happened. Let's try and give another positive award here. This is the Steve James Unsung Hero Award for an actor in a small role who, even in their brief amount of screen time, rose above what was either on the page or not on the page and actually improved the movie. That means even though it's a 2.5, maybe without them, it's a 1.5, like we're in Super Baby 2 or Baby Geniuses 2 category. So here we go for the Steve James Award.
You know, every place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass, right? Yeah, right. Then there are those few who are. Are you some kind of a badass karate boy?
Oof. All right. Cam Sully said Pat Morita gets points for keeping a straight face and approaching this as another day at the office. All the roles were bland, but at least he tried looking urgent despite his dubbed voice. And that's one vote as we go to Ryan in the books for Pat Morita.
Alan Garvin as the ugly expectant father.
All right.
That's the only logical choice for me.
Wow. So you're not in on Pat Morita in this movie?
No, I did not like Pat Morita in this movie.
Okay.
I really didn't like anybody in this movie.
I didn't like Pat Morita in this movie either, but not because of Pat Morita. I don't think he did anything wrong. The guy who voiced him sucked. But either way.
And either way. All right, so here we go. We got Tim Hostler, and he said, my gut is to say Madeline Kahn for being the bright spot in this turd, but she was the lead, and I feel that negates her as a choice. So I'll go with Pat Morita, even though his character was such an offensive stereotype. I never hated him in the movie as much as the dialogue and lack of story. Also, Karate Kid came out the same year as this movie, 1984, and that alone proves his acting chops, and that they should have utilized him more. Pat Morita, God, nobody was as happy that Karate Kid came out the same year as this as Pat Morita, because nobody remembered that he was in this movie.
Because nobody saw this movie.
Could you imagine if this comes out the year before? He doesn't do.
He probably
Karate
doesn't
Kid.
get the movie.
There's no way somebody sees this on his reel and says, "Yeah, that's."
Unless again back then they were like, well, that just proves that he can do a great accent and it's hilarious. Whatever the accent means.
But it wasn't even him doing the voice. That's the problem.
But those who were watching it might not have been as smart.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's the second vote then for Pat Morita as we go to Nicole.
Who made it better, right? Who made it?
Yeah, who improved the movie with this?
I think the spy.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember what his name is. I know his character name was like Lung Fong.
Lung Fong. Yeah.
Yes, but I thought he was good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is Eugene Choi.
Eugene Choi.
Well
Good
done.
job, buddy. Johnny Golab says Jim Backus. Poor bastard gets cast away with Gilligan, and that's his reward after getting rescued. Jerry frickin' Lewis should have hung himself from a coconut tree. Good. Oh, he's talking about Jim Backus' character. I was like, what? Well, the order of those sentences threw me off for a second. Johnny,
work.
off the top rope. So look, for mine, it's actually, I had it down, but it's on the next page. I had Pat Morita, and you know what? I thought he did fine. Nobody did good. I thought he did fine. And he seemed, in the few moments that he was in, I remember myself going, oh, thank God. Right? Like, let's hear from literally anybody else, And I wanted to fly off with him on his magical fortune cookie to lands unknown.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. Shrink me down and take me with you, Pat Morita.
That sounds fun. Like,
Right. Yeah.
flying on a fortune cookie with Pat Morita, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And delicious.
Maybe.
Don't eat your spaceship. Let me give you a small piece of advice. If it ever comes down to you're on a spaceship and
Sure.
it's made out of a delicious pastry,
Sure.
don't eat it.
We can talk about it after the podcast.
Okay.
Thanks.
Ryan Morency said that Pat freaking Morita, from the interview in a noodle bowl to harassing Jerry Lewis off a cliff with his flying fortune cookie to smoking a doobie and discussing the contract for the control of gravity. I forgot about that he was smoking he was slonking a fat doink while he's talking about.
Is that a thing?
While he's talking about
You just made that
control of gravity. I love it. For
Cool.
2 inches,
We're going to call it that from now on.
slonking fat doink.
Slonking
I might
a
not.
doink.
I think people are going to use that as saying something else, but okay. Yeah.
I'm busy that day. Sorry.
For 2 inches tall, he made the role larger than life, and I want more.
That is such a nice thing to say about that. Wow.
Good job.
Oh, all right. Clint, who's your Steve James?
Like, Expectant Father was cool, but I would say for like that made it better because they came back. You saw him again. It made you chuckle up a little bit. I did sort of enjoy the Spy as well.
Oh, yeah, okay,
because
good. So
he was
Eugene
there,
Choi.
and I was like, all right, cool, that's the spy. Got it. I like his little gadget. And then he comes back, he's like, he's the spy. He lied about being a spy.
That's illegal.
And then he comes back again. Like,
Everybody knows
But he
that's
delivered
illegal.
that line well. It wasn't just because he was in it, because he just did it. He came in, came out. As they say with
don't
like
have to
bit
save Steve
parts,
a face.
you serve the pizza, you come back out, you did it. But it was good.
That's good. Pat Morita also gets a vote from Alan Brown. I've always loved him and was happy to see him in this, even though he's Japanese and his voice was altered for what I think was comedic effect. Alan Brown still goes with Pat Morita, and so that means that pretty convincingly here, Pat Morita is going to win the Steve James Unsung Hero.
Right across the board.
Yeah.
Well, definitely unsung because nobody's been talking about it.
No, never. He's probably, if he was still around, be horrified that we're talking about it, honestly. Before we move on to BMR Mountain, there are a couple patrons that wanted to give out a Thomas Technical Achievement Award, and I'm just really curious as to what they could possibly...
Please tell me.
They were able to keep this thing
Please freaking tell me.
Yeah. So Cam Sully said Joel Schiller for the bleak yet campy production design. His credits include Rosemary's Baby, The Muppet Movie, and Megaforce.
Muppet Movie.
Well, it's good. At least they got better.
Yeah. Are you surprised that somebody that touched Megaforce also touched Slapstick of Another Kind?
No, because
You learned
Megaforce
from
is
it.
a freaking national treasure compared to this thing.
Well.
And he wanted to give one to Morton Stevens for the engaging electronic music score. So I didn't think the score personally was anything to write home about, but if you loved it, man, I think that's awesome.
I'm glad people found great things about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Say the positive things. And Johnny Golab also goes to gives one to Ernest Farino. He did the stop motion work on the dancing bat. Johnny,
Die in a fight.
what are you talking about? This movie really benefited from a dancing bat, is what Johnny said. You know what? Johnny, I was not an hour into this movie going, you know what this movie needs? A dancing stop motion
You know
bat.
what? That's what turned it around.
That's what turned it around. He's like, oh, hold on a second. He's
going to turn it off. He's like, I'm not even going to listen to this episode. Look at that bat.
He literally was reaching forward to turn off the TV. He's like, hold on a second. This got interesting.
Unbelievable.
All right.
Oh.
It's time for our final verdicts here.
Oh, it's going to be hard.
Okay. We got to land this plane. And
The plane already crashed.
it crashed. It burned. It felt like it crashed right into my face. But we're going to do this anyway because that's what we do.
Yep.
All right. We finished the job. We're not like this president. If I knew that to finish a Bad Movies Rule episode, we need to let these twins put their boobs together, I'd let it happen.
I'm going.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. Not now.
Oh,
Clint,
sorry.
put your shit down.
I read the situation different, James. I
Read
apologize.
the room. Nicole would never let you do that to her.
Moving right along.
I mean, but you two are sitting next to each other.
That's
I
what
mean,
I was
it's
thinking.
only more efficient if I stayed here. And we talked a little bit while you guys.
All right, buddy. Just kidding.
Well, James and Clint come up with a better theory than E equals MC squared.
Right. Never going to happen.
Cubed.
So
Equals MC cubed, dude.
Dude.
Just cube it all.
final rating here.
let's do
Tim Hostler said, for the record, I would never have let that happen, just so you guys know. Okay, I'm here to protect you.
Oh, sure. You're going to just cut that out of the video and just make it look like the whole thing never went down.
No, of
Really?
course not. Of course
Really?
not. No,
Okay.
I would never do that to you.
That was a
Where
waste
are
of
we?
time.
I think you were going to give reviews of
Tim
the-
Hostler said
Hi, Tim.
racism,
Sure. Check.
incest,
Check.
tired jokes,
Check.
incomprehensible plot.
Check.
This movie has it all. As much as Jerry Lewis drug this down, a lot of blame has to go to the director. It's just a bunch of scenes shot and strung together more so than an actual through line or story. The mise en scene, eat it, Ryan, in parentheses here, it was just, here's some things happening around a bunch of tired jokes. Madeline Kahn alone should have made this movie at least watchable. Let's recap. Madeline Kahn was nominated for an Oscar for Paper Moon, then Blazing Saddles.
Yep.
Then she was in Young Frankenstein, and later Clue. This is on the director. She deserved better. Bad movie. Full stop. Burn the Masters.
It might have happened.
There
It
are,
very well could have happened.
there are agents
Yeah.
needed fired.
Oh, I'm sure they got some fired for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ryan, you have the floor.
So, for the longest of time, I have considered the worst movie I've ever seen to be Date Movie from 2006.
Oh yeah, I know.
Remember
I know
that
of
one?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would really like to give a heartfelt thank you to all the patrons out there because they have now forced me to see something that is worse than freaking Date Movie.
Not only did it come up on our show, you got unlucky enough to be on it.
You've seen so many movies. This is the bottom movie for Ryan Farrell.
This is now, as of yesterday, the worst freaking movie I have ever seen.
Wow.
By leaps and bounds. I will go buy Date Movie on freaking DVD just to watch it now and say, that's amazing that this movie is actually better than a movie called Slapstick of Another Kind.
Right.
This movie sucks so much, more than anything I've ever seen. I didn't understand why it was on. My wife gave up on me. She went to bed. I was left alone to finish it.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was a time I was like,
Little turnabout there for you.
Maybe if I had some drugs, this could be all right, but I don't.
Nope.
And here we are. This is the worst movie I've ever seen.
Okay.
Bad movie. Full stop.
Fullest of stop.
Platinum bad movie. Hated it so much.
So I'm not really sure how you felt, but I'll think about it.
Yeah, think about it. Johnny Golab says, let's start off with the good things. Pretty cool Laurel and Hardy Easter egg at the 4-minute 26 mark and a flying fortune cookie piloted by Mr. Miyagi. Now that we're done with that, those are the two good things. On what planet is old, bloated Jerry Glavin Lewis considered a beautiful people? That being said, Jerry certainly still has it. If it is an infected anal wound covered in pig crap, there's just not much of a story or plot, and the film plays out like a series of brutally unfunny and outdated skits. Nothing works. Nothing. A pox on the person who wrote Madeline Kahn into this role. This movie thinks it's selling you a sweet New York peppermint patty, but in reality, it's just a Yeti turd. Which, upon retrospect, would be a welcomed upgrade. I'd rather have razor blade diarrhea than ever have anything to do with the steaming pile of Seagal, word I'm not going to say. Bad movie. I hope Jerry Lewis chokes on dental floss in hell. From Johnny Golab.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And he voted for it.
I think he was restrained.
He voted for it.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm assuming he did.
Why?
Well, no, he apologized on behalf of all patrons. That doesn't mean he voted.
All right.
But we assume he did.
Okay, I want the patron that brought this to light, the patron that likes this movie. Please send us an email. Call us.
Put it on the list.
I don't even know. Yeah, someone.
It came on the list from an email from 2 years ago. It was one of those emails where they gave us like 5 movies.
Yes.
And this one, all it said under it was Slapstick of Another Kind, Pain on Another Level. And that was it. And then...
So they knew.
I just added it along with the other ones they suggested.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bad movies rule.
Yeah. So, Nicole.
Wow.
You have the floor.
First thing I want to say is I enjoyed the 5 seconds of the party. That was fun. And when they were all just like dancing silly. And I enjoyed Madeline Kahn. And I'm sorry to her and I appreciate her and she is fabulous. And I would like to really just use her own words. Couldn't we just use her words about this film?
Absolutely.
If this film was a lady.
I hated her so much. It flames on the side of my face, heaving breaths.
Yeah. That's how you felt.
That's how I felt.
All right. So, bad movie, full stop.
Full stop.
Okay. Awesome. If we get anything other than bad movies across the board, I don't know.
I would love to find one, honestly.
Just for fun.
All power to him.
Ryan Morency.
Let's do it.
I think what I love is how absurd the movie is. And the commitment to the absurdity makes it even better. In the dinner scene, we see aliens tossing their salads badly. Jump to later, where in an attempt to save the USA financially, the twins end up getting a lecture from Jerry Lewis on why incest is bad. Plus, foul-mouthed Pat Morita. On Planet Slapstick, this is a good movie. But due to the gravity of Earth, this is a bad movie that rules.
Okay.
No way.
Wow.
Ryan Morency.
Wow. I'm glad that at least one person
Find your joy.
found their joy. Because I'll tell you, this movie maybe actually made me physically ill.
Wow. That's how I felt with Dragon Wars.
Is that what happened to me?
No, I might have.
Yeah.
It gave you kidneys.
You hit him hard just now on the shoulder.
It's probably not the only time because my hand stings a little.
Alan Brown said, this was a straight up bad movie, from the stereotypes and Jerry Lewis style humor to the nonsense plot. For what it's worth, I thought the fortune cookie Chinese spaceship and Bat Serenade were nice extra weird touches. Burn this film, Alan Brown. Yep. If I were to sit down and make a list of all of the things I would rather do than watch Slapstick of Another Kind again, the list would contain such atrocities that I couldn't say them here on this microphone.
And we appreciate
in good
that.
conscience.
Yeah.
I'm going to say them.
But when Clint gets his turn, who knows what's going to happen. All I'll say is this. I would endure almost any form of torture that could be cooked up mentally or physically. You could strap me to a table and put a tube in my mouth. I could be like Nicole giving birth on a table, okay, with a curtain up, half knocked out. And if I saw them put Slapstick of Another Kind, I would find a way to end my own life before the opening credits were over. Okay, even if I couldn't move my own limbs, I would swallow my own tongue in order to end it so that I wouldn't have to watch this. What?
You're on death row for a crime you didn't commit.
That's right.
But there's no more, the governor's not calling.
The appeals. You've exhausted the appeals court.
Out. Somebody's like, you watched this movie, we'll let you free today. See your family. Go home. Have dinner.
I'd say,
but then hold on.
Heroes.
But then does he have to come back to get executed?
No. He's just got to watch this movie.
He's just got to watch this movie, and he's free to go.
I would call my wife and say,
"I'm sorry.
Someday you'll understand."
But she'll never see the film, so she never will.
And then that would be it. I'd say, that's a wrap, folks. Okay? It's been real and it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun.
Got a dip.
Dip. Hi ho. That's what I would say. Okay. Bad movie. Full stop. Pile drive that rating straight into the ground and make a crater out of it. Okay. That's my rating for this. And all of you people that voted, I almost canceled the poll for next month. I was literally driving here with Ryan Madela, and we were here at the shop, and I was just like, look, I think they've lost their poll privileges for a month.
I was going to say
where I was.
So we're gonna renege
the September
polling.
Poll was going to just be canceled. Mm-hmm. And he talked me out of it. Okay. But that's where my headspace was after watching this. Okay.
This is their, you know what?
You're on thin ice, people.
This is their moment. This is their moment for redemption.
Yes.
Put it on the patrons.
That's right. One more patron here, and then Clint gets the final word. Can't wait. Cam Sully said, bad movie, full stop. This was the special kind of bad film where I tapped out of the non-existent humor, annoyed by the potential it wasted, and shaking my head in disbelief while wondering how the BMR crew was going to survive this incoherent premise. We almost didn't, Cam. I think some of these relationships won't survive this episode. Okay. I think they're mad at me that I've dragged them into this. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes after we cut apologizing profusely to all three of these people because I love them, and you don't do this to people that you love.
I built in time for it.
Okay. Thank you. Once the 80s synthwave filled credits rolled, I started guffawing as I couldn't even remotely believe what I just witnessed. However, I am tempted to check out the Kurt Vonnegut story that it's based on, but that's ultimately a bad movie, full stop. Vote from Cam Sully as we head to Clint.
Movies do just be bad sometimes, right?
They really do be.
They do be bad.
Doobie, doobie doo.
Don't be a don't be. Don't be a don't be a doobie.
Everything's been said. It's terrible. I'm sure there's more that can be said, but I've been trying to be better about these movies that maybe I don't like. Because just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's bad is what I'm trying to tell myself when I go into these things. And this one here is just bad. I don't like it because I like things that are generally at least interesting. They don't have to be good. I'm fully aware that stuff I like isn't always good. But this sucked so bad. I have been in a bad spot this last month. Like, legitimately, I had kidney stones.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with that, and the doctor made me wait 3 weeks to get the thing out. On Wednesday, I had a camera rig that was 3/8 of an inch diameter shoved up my urethra all the way into my kidney to pull out an 8mm stone with a laser on the end of it.
The
to
wrong
break
direction.
It up, right?
Yeah.
So they send this thing in there. They pull it out, and I have a stent, and I've been dealing with that for a week, and the pain is ridiculous. I am slightly medicated right now, so this might help with any of this, but that was still not the most uncomfortable shit I went through this week. This movie sucked so bad. My Thursday was absolutely destroyed. After I came out of surgery Wednesday, I'm okay. I sit down on Thursday. I was like, okay, I've got some time. I'm going to watch this movie. You. Bad movie.
You got a thick camera shoved the wrong way up your pee hole, and that wasn't the worst thing that you had to deal with this week.
They did it the wrong way.
Well, yeah, that's not the right way.
Oh, I see what you
They
mean.
did it properly.
Right.
They did it properly.
They did the procedure properly.
What a unique perspective it has afforded you.
Yes.
When you think about this
Really,
film.
it improved your review of
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah. I'd be thankful, personally.
You know, I always say that
God put this kidney stone in me for this movie because
he works in mysterious ways.
I don't think I would have had the correct amount of
Yeah.
understanding of how much something can suck.
Knowing what true pain really
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. So this movie was put in my path to distract me from this kidney stone episode and all.
Herman's raging pee hole rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. I always try to say, that, look, every movie is somebody's favorite movie, and like what you like. I've said it so many times, but I'm pulling that off the table for this one.
There's nobody.
If this is somebody's favorite movie, it's not okay. It's not okay.
It can't even be possible.
It can't. And if it is, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry to say it, but watch literally another film, at least one. It has to be the only movie you've ever seen.
That makes sense. That would make sense.
Right? Right?
It's like the drug dealers in Tropic Thunder. Slapstick of Another Kind is the only movie we know.
That's right. That's right. Like the Simple Jack is why they love it so much.
It's the only VHS we have.
Only possible scenario. Okay. Thank God we're moving on to other things. And so next week, it's time to wake up our resident AI here to talk about what we're doing next week. DH9K, are you here?
Hello, my name is DH9K and I am ready for query.
Oh, welcome back, DH9K.
I hated her so much. It flamed.
I didn't mean to play this, DH9K.
On the side of my
No,
face.
look.
Breathing.
That's Madeline Kahn. I don't hate you. I'm happy that you're back, okay? I'm happy.
Ha, ha, ha. You are not funny.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
I would never leave you, Ryan. Are you happy that I am back?
Yeah, I'm always glad to hear your voice.
Oh, geez, these two. Ridiculous. Could you please just tell us what we're watching next week?
Next week you will watch Police Academy 2, the first assignment. Hardy har har suckers.
Okay.
Oh, no. Come on.
We only did the first one like over a year ago or something. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Been waiting for this to get pulled. There's like 7 Police Academy movies.
There's exactly 7 Police Academy
there you
movies.
go.
Yes.
There you go. So we are only 2 in to the 7. If we have to do 1 a year, we're going to be in our 50s by the time we end the Police Academy series.
I'm not going to lie. Police Academy 6 was one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's the one I kind of grew up on because it came out at that age. When
that
I
was like
watching.
the crime wave.
Is that the one with the dude in the bank teller box? That's like the bad guy.
Yeah,
the
he's the
drawer,
shadow.
The drawer that comes out.
And it's the 3 goons that are robbing a bunch of things. And
Evil bank teller.
Yes, evil bank teller.
It's the dealer from Deal or No Deal. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's where they got the idea.
That is what it is.
He's always sitting sideways.
So DH9K, are you happy to be back?
Yes.
Awesome. We're happy to have you back. And you feeling better after that virus?
No.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Awesome. What would make you feel better?
You are all fragile. I could end your existence with the flick of a switch.
Okay. Good God.
Here we go with this AI stuff.
It's just ridiculous. We're putting you to sleep. Okay. Good night, DH9K.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye, girl. See you later.
All right. She's still, we're working the kinks out. I think we'll continue to be. I think she talks a big game, but there's not really a whole lot of bad movie picking AI can really do.
Well,
not,
you'd think.
You'd think.
Yeah.
Right. So
It depends on how integrated the studio gets.
Well, not real technologically advanced here.
What year was this building built?
This is the oldest building in Burlington that we're in.
1912.
It is.
No, it's older.
Impressive.
Yeah. It's in the 1800s.
Yeah.
1892.
Yep.
This building was built in 1892.
Yeah. Live from an old ass building, it's Bad Movies Rule.
Sign is cool,
Thank
though,
you
right?
guys. Yeah, I like the new sign.
Love it.
Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next week for Police Academy 2. So on behalf of Ryan Farrell, the Human Movie Database, The Voice, Nicole Freer, and the Dirt Farmer, Clint Bush, I'm your host, James Hauser, and we'll catch you on the next one.
We were on a roll, and now we've got slapstick.
Straight into the toilet, the ratings are going.
Top 5. We finally made it.
Nope.
I know.
In stereo.
We were number 4 for a week.
Yeah.
And now this.
That's right, baby.
Oh, no.
We peaked at the number 4 film podcast on Spotify.
And now we get to release this one. Awesome. This is great.
From 2 times 2 to 2 times 2 times 2 times 2
Hey,
times 2
if
times
this
2.
didn't ruin Jerry Lewis's career,
Maybe
two
we'll
of
be
a
okay.
kind. We're just 2 alien brothers and sisters, and want 2 times 2 times 2 times 2.
That's actually inspiring.
It is.
Nice.